Alright, well, don't know if anyone's here yet, but might as well just jump on the ladder and get things rolling. Oh bosh, I see a Clover, I see a Borrower, I see a Livestruck Beast. Let's do this. You get to bring out my new Best of One sideboard tech. Copy of Blazing Volley. You can see that coming in handy here. Edgewall Innkeeper. Let's see, so I have the option to play this out and not take a hit off of a land. I have the option to either play Innkeeper this turn or play a tapped Shockland and not take a hit. This feels like a time that I'm just going to be curving Innkeeper into Fae into Lovestruck Beast, maybe turn 4 going Clover Borrower. I don't think we really have time to mess around against this deck, so let's just get Innkeeper down now. It's obviously vulnerable to shock this way, but if it does get shocked, I can just play Clover instead of Fae, and that's fine. Because then the turn after that, I get to go double token into double bounce. So yep, getting shocked is fine. I am okay trading 1 for 1 with the Sobosh deck. And they kind of get their 2 for 1 there, but Heraldic Banner coming down means that that's kind of a slow start for them. Hey there, Malaysian Ninja. Good to see ya. Red, you say. Bold choice, bold choice. We got more light up the stages? We do. What's that going to hit? Bone Crusher light up the stage. Well, the opponent's going to have a hard time dealing damage to us in a smooth way next turn, which is great. Let's go ahead, shock that in, make 2 tokens. Fae of Wishes is going to have to do a lot of work, but Fae of Wishes frequently does. Let's see how our opponent wants to play out this turn. My goal is basically not to take damage, so that this light up the stage can't go off. Yep, they swing with Champion. I'm just going to bounce Champion and Banner. They'll still get to go ahead and cast like Bone Crusher Champion this turn, but they don't get light off the stage, which is good news for me. Ooh, alright, opponent wants to do the Stomp. Alright, so opponent got off the instant speed Stomp there. Something I could have done was to bounce Heraldic Banner in their upkeep, but I don't think this would have mattered very much. I imagine they would have made basically the same play at any point. So they can light up the stage off of Heraldic Banner, but it means they're going to pass the turn without any creatures in play. Very down for my opponent passing the turn with no creatures in play here. So I now see Anax. This gives me a lot of time to set up. What I can do now is just go Temple of Abandon. Gonna put another Clover to the bottom, I think. I'm pretty much out of stuff to do. Next turn I would love an untapped land to go with Fae of Wishes, or just any kind of interactive adventure spell. We don't really want more Clovers right now. Opponent can jam a couple of pretty good 3-drops next turn if they want to. And I assume they're just going to go Mountain Bone Crusher Anax. But I can wish for a Mystic Repeal to take care of Anax, a removal spell. Ooh, okay, going with the second Banner. That's fine. I like that we're not getting attacked by a Bone Crusher Giant next turn that'll be big enough to fight Lovestruck Beast. So at the moment, my priority is just going to be to get rid of the Anax. What else are we doing? We want some form of... I don't just think just a single target removal spell is going to do it. Would love to grab maybe Shadow Spear. If next turn is going to be Obosh, I could also just get Domri's Ambush. There's also just Escape the Wilds on a good number of lands. That's actually probably going to be the move, just going to be grab Escape the Wilds. I have enough blockers to handle Obosh for a little while. So Mystic Repeal for this Anax, Escape the Wilds to grind some card advantage. And we'll see how this goes. Could swing with Lovestruck Beast here past the Fervent Champion. Is that a thing that's likely to be useful to me? Probably not. The problem is if they attack with Fervent Champion, I block with Lovestruck. Lovestruck could just die to like a shock. They can also cast Obosh and just make Fervent Champion completely impossible to block, so I think I'm actually attacking. Like, Escape the Wilds can get us a lot of different things that make it possible to attack through our opponent here. So I fully expect to see this be like Dodger, make an unblockable, drop Obosh. Really? Opponent's not dropping Obosh. I'm pretty happy about that. Not super happy about these double banners. Light up the stages have really been good for the opponent here, letting them accumulate a lot of cards. But I'm kind of surprised not to see Obosh come down this turn, honestly. Grabbing Storm's Wrath could have been a sensible move, but it's tough when you know they have an Obosh ready to come down. Let's see what we can peel off this Escape to the Wilds. Next turn it's going to be Obosh. Spitter's going to deal me 2. They're going to have 4 attackers. So I actually just need to grab a Lovestruck Beast off of this one, huh? Well, if that's what we need, then that's what we need. Beanstalk Giant, does Bone Crusher get there? Bone Crusher lets me take out... Yeah, Bone Crusher's fine, actually. Bone Crusher lets me take out Spitter and Dodger. They can jam Obosh. I can block Bone Crusher. Champion puts me to 1, though. Yikes, I'm dead to a land because Castle Embereth Obosh then kills me. I guess I actually can just force them to pump to make the Dodger unblockable. No, I have to block Bone Crusher next turn. Yeah, getting more basics in here could be good if we're going to be seeing lots of Obosh red, which I assume we are. Let's see how our opponent handles this turn. Okay, Mountain... Does Mountain guaranteed kill me? They go Obosh, they can Castle Embereth, I can kill this and this, block this. This is still going to deal me 8. Nope, they pumped the Dodger. Okay, opponent went on autopilot a little bit, which means that I get to not lose the game. Love not losing the game. Still got a long road to win, given that I'm still going to be dead to a stomp for a while. But this actually plays. Could still use a Lovestruck Beast. Or a Borrower. Or a Fae of Wishes. What does that do for me here? So we can Fae. Blazing Volley takes out the champion. Opponent's still left with 2 creatures. Storm's Wrath wouldn't do it even if we could afford to shock in a land, which we can't. I can go Beanstalk into cast 2 creatures. That's not going to be enough. Lord Junkerton, no, I'm way, way behind on Historic Prep as far as like having done basically none of it. Not sure at all what I'm going to play there yet. Is there any wish combination that gets me out of this? Man, I missed Pause for Reflection, chat. Maybe I should just be running Pause for Reflection in the sideboard again. I could probably win this game if I had a Pause for Reflection. As is, I just don't think I can live through this. I've got Red Cat Melee to kill champion as well. It's basically the same as Blazing Volley. I need to get like something that can stop 2 creatures for a second, which I don't have access to. Yeah, I think we're just... Wait, I can just cast Bone Crusher and double Fae? Technically, I live through that. It's not good, but I technically do live through the next turn by doing that. So I think that's now what I'm obligated to do. Don't like this one bit. I mean, the opponent can bring a lot of lands. I don't expect that to happen. Yeah, I think this matchup is generally good, but we were on the draw this one. Opponent had a really strong start with Light Up the Stage on. I think... Did they cast 3 Light Up the Stage this game? They really did cast 3 Light Up the Stage this game. Yeah, it's just a tough place to go. That was a weird Castle Embereth, but okay. Drew Lovestruck Beast, we're still in it. Lovestruck Beast can fight Obosh. I mean, I don't think we're going to win this one in the end. Highly expect to just get shocked at some point, but we'll keep going, pretend it's Red Bull, fight competitively. Certainly have, Lord Junkerton, certainly have. Hey, Shoop, good to see you hanging out. Phoenix of Ash, okay. I survived through that one, again by the skin of my teeth, but this works. Should at least go in a Fervent Champion opponent. Yeah, they correctly go in a Fervent Champion, so we're going to chump that, block the Phoenix. We need like another Brazen Bar or a Fae of Wishes next turn to stay alive. Actually, Bone Crusher Giant does it too. And we have Venture Simples and One Mind still in the deck, plus Escape the Wilds. We actually have a decent number of reasonable draws. But also a lot of lands. Also a lot of lands. Also, we're only here because the opponent punted in the first place against face-up information. We should have been dead a couple turns ago. Edge Walling Keeper is not going to do it, sadly, so we'll wrap this up. Is it, Kraj? Anybody else seeing lag so far? Not getting any notifications on my side. Okay, well, that was Mono Red. We're going to probably see a lot more of that during the practice stream, but that's what practice is for. Thanks for clarifying, Clever Man. All right. Love this hand. Let's do it. Notably, a lot of the Jeskai Luca Yorion decks are now running main deck Omen of the Forge in Best of One. At least this is the feeling I'm getting. So, real question about whether it's worth it to jam Innkeeper right now. I think I'll start with the Lovestruck Beast token. See if my opponent gets trigger happy if they do have an Omen of the Forge. Since even if I drew Fae of Wishes next turn, I don't think I'd be casting it to draw a card off Innkeeper. Well, I would have had that decision, so that's worth noting. Opponent could Clarion here, but I think main deck Clarion isn't super common right now. Pretty happy just to continue developing my board position, get some beat sticks down, make it so Shatter draws me extra cards. Swing with this 1/1 since I don't mind trading that off against a token, but we're not going to trade Innkeeper off against a Shark or a token right now. Fire's time? Shatter time? Alright, fires into Shatter time. Okay, they did have Clarion. Interesting. I just drew that too. So, this feels like it should just be Beanstalk into... Do I even bother to bounce the fires right now? They have 3 cards in hand. I could just hold up Stomp in case they're going to cast a Narset or something. Huh. Yeah, I'm honestly down to wait on the Borrower here. If they go for Luca, Borrower can still break that up, and then I can stomp Luca down. They could get a free scry off of this decision, but right now Yorion's not doing much. Okay, opponent's going for Mythos of Illuna on a land. Fascinating. Guess they just really wanted to get to 5 mana. I mean... Sure, comes into play tapped. I could have bounced the fires in response, and they wouldn't be able to get a 5-drop. They could have just replayed fires this turn, though. Still feels like I'd rather try and actually get something going on the board. Alright, there's Luca. Luca is here. That's fine. Luca has been plussed. Alright, opponent is playing Karn the Great Creator in their Jeskai Luca deck. Fascinating. I think we're just going for the bounce on Luca, right? Yeah, we can stomp any tokens. They can make an instant speed from here, so Luca's not going to get to go off next turn. My plan for next turn is just going to be Wish for Escape to the Wilds and Stomp, if nothing else comes up. We also have a Borrower, so we're extra safe from Luca-flavored nonsense. Could also get Mystic Repeal here. There's still the risk that they just go make a token end of turn and then Luca me, so I'd rather have that one covered, I think. Could grab Cage, but I like Escape. I actually want to get some action going on the next turn, and I think I have Luca handled. And most of their non-Luca stuff doesn't really scare me. This is the point where the opponent could go for Urian, bounce both of these, jam Luca, threaten to minus on Yorion. Which gives them a couple cards. Alright, they're going to go for this. Here's Yorion. So that's fine. So this gives them, if they want to, they can Luca on Yorion and get like a free stomp-proof thing. Do I want to just bounce this Yorion? Probably. And just stomp down the Luca? Let's see. If opponent gets an agent, they don't have a Yorion anymore. How much do I care about that? Agent's going to steal my red source, though, so I don't want them doing that. Let's say no to Yorion. Obviously, opponent getting Yorion back in hand when they have a Fires around is not the best, but I can handle it. Okay, would love a 1-1. Just clear out this Luca. Escape the Wilds is a pretty good chance of hitting one of those for me. I think I'm going to leave... Okay, so I can't leave up red because I only have one red source here, so we're just going to escape. Hitting. Wow, those were awful hits. Good lord. Okay. So, we don't get to do anything that exciting. I think, honest to goodness, my play might just be to go for... Yeah, need to drop the Luca down to 1 so I don't get agented here. So I legit think that this is just going to be the play. Opponent gets to go for Yorion again next turn, which is a little sad, but we have another Escape the Wilds in hand, so we're doing fine on card advantage. They do get to bounce Luca, make that a threat again. Really use a Clover mostly, what I'm thinking about here. So here they have the power to go Omen, jam Yorion, bounce 2 Omens, jam Agent. So I think we're behind here on card advantage. And what we really, really needed that turn was just to get any of our remaining 1/1s. We had 6 in the library at that point to just attack down the Luca and not have to worry about it. But between the opponent having the second Omen and all of this, we're now behind. And as it turns out, we got an Escape the Wilds off the top after wishing for one. Had I just wished for Mystic or be able to take out Fires, things would have been easier from here. Love that Shatter play. Good gracious, that's all? Let's give me the chance to kill their Luca? Love it. Okay. Would love a Clover even more. Clover would be absolutely the bee's knees. Okay, so we see Elspeth, Sons of Nemesis, and Omen of the Forge. Opponent doing a bunch of different unusual things in this list. So, we now have access to 9 mana. Think my play here is just going to be to escape again. Would love to get 1 Clover so I can use these Beanstalks. Worst case scenario, we can just Beanstalk into 1 Stomp or something. Yeah, we're getting super, super unlucky not hitting Clovers yet. But that just means they're all on the bottom of the deck, which is okay. So we already played a land this turn, so we're just going to go land. Beanstalk. Probably just go for... Is it Adventurous Impulse or... like a token here? We'll go for a token, hide some info from our opponent, and then just stomp the Luca after that. Yeah, it's not the best, Patrick. It's not the best. We're losing a lot of value here, but I mean, we're still
to become Aaron Gertler
not in a horrible position, right? Like we're in a place now where the only thing that really scares me out of the opponent's deck is exactly Agent. They are scrying toward it. They didn't hit it off Luca, and they haven't played one yet, so I assume that they're just digging for one. I don't know how many copies they're playing. Probably less than 4, given all the other random stuff in their deck. Yorion digs them pretty far toward one. If they have like a Yorion and can find a Tef, that's a problem. But aside from Yorion, they only have 2 cards in hand right now. So they might not... They're kind of relying on Omen of the Sea to hit stuff for them. Buddy Babs, thanks for the follow. Okay, so opponent does have the Luca here. Are we going to see Yorion get minused on? Alright, so opponent's going to minus on this Yorion, which is good news. Kind of. Opponent gets to do 1 agent this turn, plausibly 1 agent the next turn as well. The really bad news is if they have a Token Maker as their last card in hand. A Tef would be mildly annoying, but only mildly. Okay, agent we can handle. So we can just Fey into Storm's Wrath this coming turn is a thing we can do. Alright, so they're Mythosing agent, so this definitely makes me just want to Fey into Storm's Wrath. Clear out the agent and the second Luca. The Mythoses are also interesting. This is like a very unusual build. Very unusual. Very interesting to see what's going on. There's the Clover. Alright, does the Clover change things? So I have 10 mana, so I can still Clover and then Fey into Storm's Wrath. Seems great. Let's start there. We do lose Adventurous Impulse, but I'm okay with that. Would much rather be using Fae to go get like a Once in Future here, something along those lines. So opponents has kept up in mana, to their credit, and they've got some cards in hand, also to their credit, plus a Fires, plus Castle of Interest, so this is far from over. But I still am pretty happy with my position. So Storm's Wrath, we don't have an escape left in here. I could get Plane-Wide Celebration also. I don't really have that many permanents in the graveyard, though. Really just Edgewell Innkeeper, Lovestruck Beast. So I think I still prefer Once in Future from this spot. But it's a consideration. Yeah, that would be cute, Kevlar Man. That would be an interesting choice for this deck, potentially. Alright, so the opponent's only remaining threats are, I guess, like some Elspeths or something, which don't actually matter because I have infinite creatures. They've got probably like 2 more agents. They could go like, they can do like agent, Tef, bounce agent stuff, but they still pretty much are limited to 1 agent per turn because I've got their fires covered. Alright, they do have the agent. Are they taking Clover? They're just going to keep taking red sources. Alright, opponent's doing a good job being like very dedicated to killing red sources. Do they have another Mythos? Alright, so they're doing the Tef bounce agent thing. Not bad, not bad. They're bouncing Clover. Really? Okay, opponent has left agent in play. Oh, okay, now they got some cards. Now that's spicy. So now we actually do kind of need to clean up whatever's going on here. Let's do this. Alright, we're gonna go ahead Once in Future. We're gonna grab back, I think I might just want Storm's Wrath. Is that crazy? I need to take this agent out. Definitely need this agent to die. So I think I just grab Escape Storm's Wrath. We might lose this one. Opponent getting the extra value here off the agent is not fun. But, I mean, our opponent did the right thing. They were taking lands this whole time. Not even slightly tempted to take the Clover, it looked like. So, well done by them. We're also in a lot of danger from big sharks at this point. I assume our opponent must be playing 4 Typhoon. We haven't seen any yet. So do I play Fae to just chump a big shark? Kind of like chumping a big shark here over just getting Clover down. Yeah, feeling slightly behind. Slightly behind. No sharks, though. Yep, I do have a Blazing Volley, Patrick. Okay, opponent's also got Interplanar Beacon. Yep. Alright. Gonna be an interesting one. They're at 17. They don't have that many prospects of gaining life. Elspeth can do a little bit of it. The goal is still going to be just to fling a big beanstalk at them, but we did take escape. We took expansion out of the board, so without expansion, we're going to need to get some more lands down. Our opponent has been doing a very annoying job of killing all of our lands. Bone Crusher helps a lot, though. That lets me clean up these planeswalkers to a large extent, which is fun. Let's start with escape. See where that takes us. More escapes and a lot of lands, okay. So I want to go Clover, Bone Crusher, Fae this turn. Which means I get to do 1 Scry. Let's just keep jamming red sources to make sure we don't get bottlenecked on that. Definitely not in for Steam Vents. Where are my other 3 Edgewell Innkeepers? Buried deep down, not to mention the other Clovers. Alright. So, do I attack? Or do I just dump both these Planeswalkers to 1? Opponent didn't have a shark last turn. At least it really seemed like they didn't have a shark last turn. Getting Fae of Wishes eaten would be kind of sad. But I think I'm still supposed to go for it. Let's hit Elspeth. Is this going to work? Maybe our opponent's on like a weird no Typhoon build. Honestly, haven't seen a single shark yet. Okay, so we Clover, we double stomp, then we cast Fae, which can defend us from a shark, assuming they don't have Tef, but if they've been holding a shark this long and they have Tef, well done by them. They got me. They do have a lot of stuff in the graveyards. They can bring back Elspeth, but that still costs 1 of their spells. So I'm okay with that. It's just you, Merrick. It's just you. Alright, stuff dies, Fae comes down. Very vulnerable to sharks, haven't seen any yet. Pretty much Shark Typhoon is the only card in their deck that I'm worried about at this point. And they're still just scrying for it. So, super fine, super fine. They did top something. Let's see what comes out. Sarkhan. Alright, so opponent's doing some spicy stuff over there. Sarkhan doesn't actually bother me too much. We're not taking that much damage off of it. The thing I'm really looking to do, so I've already recycled Storm's Wrath once, which means I can't get that back, but like hitting a single Brazen Borrower or something off Escape to the Wilds, or like a Borrower plus a Bone Crusher, just lets me kind of put all these Planeswalkers in the ground, and then we just get started again. Opponent plus a Sarkhan, which is smart. They know that I have a good chance of having a Borrower in hand or hitting one off Escape to the Wilds, so they're not going to make that Sarkhan as vulnerable as it could be otherwise. So we're seeing a big attack here. We're dropping to 5. I'm now pretty confident our opponent doesn't have Shark Typhoon, or at most is playing like 1 copy or something. I'm not as worried about that as I would otherwise be, usually. But 5 is a low life total. We gotta be careful. Especially against the active soldier tokens that are going on. We start, I believe, with Escape. We're not going to Temple yet. Do we Temple, actually? Maybe I'm supposed to Temple. Yeah, let's Temple. Make sure we're bottoming a land or something here. We'll just need to be hitting Borrowers and Bone Crushers. Innkeeper. You know, I don't actually think I need that much. I feel like we have enough of those left in the deck that that's not going to be a limiting factor on me. Let's just make sure we don't die. Okay, we hit Clover, Borrower. Great, great, great. That's perfect. That's a really good-looking set of things. We now get to play out the second Clover. And we've got Borrower up. What do I want to be doing with my creatures here? So I think I'm basically forced to bounce. I could bounce like Sarkhan, token, attack Narset, attack Elspeth. Probably need to hold back 1 Fae of Wishes, actually. Let's start here. Attack Narset. See if this goes through. Does, great. 1 Walker down. Could just hold Borrower and do all the bouncing next turn after our opponent has made their decisions. There's some appeal to that as well. We need 2. We have access to 6 mana right now, which is all we're really going to get. So is there any reason not just hold up all the stuff I have to do so I can like go double bounce and then get Borrower, just cast a Borrower? Or should I cast Bone Crusher now? I got 2 cards in hand, which means I could theoretically go for a bounce and then bring Fae back. That seems appealing enough that I don't want to spend more mana at this point. Let's just pass. Fae targets J. Rebello. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I actually should stop on my end step here in case their scry decisions are affected by what I do. So I could just go like bounce Sarkhan, bounce token. Sarkhan comes back, pumps up Elspeth. I can block Elspeth with Fae. Still waiting, still waiting. Probably isn't going to have counter spells for me. Narset comes down, sure. The periodic life gain's a little bit annoying, but I think with the number of wishes I have, it shouldn't matter too much. Opponent misses off of Narset, always glad to see that. They're in a bit of a pickle here. We've got 1 more Bone Crusher and 1 more Borrower, I think. Okay, one goes for the plus on Sarkhan. That's fine. And what's Elspeth getting up to here? Minusing on the tokens, I assume? Yeah, minus is on the... Oh, minus is on Sarkhan and a token. Well, that's great. That lets me go ahead and go bounce like Elspeth, Sarkhan, and 1 token, and then the opponent can only play 1 more Planeswalker out this turn. I love that. Alright, so we need to tap carefully to leave up... we're leaving up enough blue anyway, so we'll just go ahead and Bounce Sarkin. Bounce a token. Bounce Elspeth. And just limiting the amount of stuff our opponent can have on the board, letting the fires do the work for us. In fact, the opponent's not giving themselves a chance to like cast a free 10/10 in this position with Shark Typhoon is great. And because the opponent knows I can cast a Borrower with Flash, they know that Sarkin is somewhat vulnerable. But what are you going to do there besides create the dragon? Alright, fourth Borrower. Fourth Borrower is cool. Definitely want to make sure to use Fae Wishes this turn, though. Let's see where we're going to go get. So Fling is an obvious choice at this point. Got to start looking toward killing the opponent. Would love to play out a couple creatures this turn. Let's see. There's Lantern, which can shut off future Elspeths, but that's not a big concern. Shadow Spear is kind of cool. Honestly, maybe just Disdainful Stroke because it handles one of their cards. Got one more Wish in the deck still. Let's get Celebration. Let's get... I don't think we need Fling yet. Let's get Celebration. Let's get Disdainful Stroke. Or Negate? It's just Negate, right? They'd have to have exactly the last Agent for me to regret that play, and Agent doesn't really do much here anyway. And I could just get Unsummoned to clean out the Dragon token. Could use Borrower to do that. If I like Borrower, I can bounce, like... I just don't have that much to bounce with Borrower. I can just bounce Dragon Sarkin and a token and attack Narset with the Borrower. Then I'm using my last bounce, which is a little sad. Actually, let's pick up Unsummon, but I'm not going to use Unsummon to bounce the Dragon. Unsummon can bounce a Borrower, which makes it much more flexible at this point. Let's do this. So that's a good thing to notice is when you get to the point of the game where Unsummon can just like bounce one of your own creatures and be much more value than when it bounces one of your opponent's creatures. We're definitely at that stage of the game now, just like late. Question is, do I even want to bounce a third thing? Because I could just take out both of these Planeswalkers. I don't really want to bounce Omen. Bouncing Fires gives my opponent the ability to play something on their turn. I don't know if they have anything like that, but I kind of don't want to find out if they do. So let's just clear out both of these. We'll kill both walkers. If the opponent has a Shark Typhoon, I can bounce the token with the Unsummon. Worst comes to worst. Love having not a timer here. Gives me lots of time to think through these turns as long as I'm judicious with timeouts. Great, everything dies. And Unsummon means I'm not dead to a random shark in case our opponent's been holding one back this whole time somehow. I would love to hold these two lands to use another Wish, so we're just going to play the land out of here. And we want to hold some Borrowers in reserve, but I will cast one copy of Bone Crusher Giant just to apply a little bit more pressure. This leaves up the ability to cast Bone Crusher, or cast a Borrower and bring Fae back to my hand, so I'm pretty happy with the end of that turn. Yeah, Halgren, it takes a lot of getting used to. That's one of the things, I think there are many things about Temur Clover that sort of deflate its win rate. It's just so hard to play, and there are so many ways to make mistakes, which is one of the reasons I'm confident playing it, is because I think I'm a pretty good Temur Clover player, and... Alright, do I just negate this? Is this like a pain in the butt, because it gets a Planeswalker back at some point? If I'm wishing, I can just wish for Grafdigger's Cage, which shuts off the ability of... No, it doesn't shut off Planeswalkers coming back, so let's negate this. Whatever. The opponent wants to shatter, that's fine. Alright, another ECD. Okay, sure. Taking off Bone Crusher Giant, well, this is looking pretty good. Opponents use their 2 spells, we get to hit them for 8 next turn, and then have them dead with a Fling the turn after that. Yeah, maximally the third, I'm betting we can kill them somehow. Oh, Fae of Wishes means we can definitely kill them. Let's just attack first to be sure. Opponent's always got Scry up, but beyond that, yeah, they're just dead to Fling at this point. Yeah, typos. I think I've managed to move myself exactly once in Temur Clover, and that was a game where I was playing sort of half asleep and making a lot of mistakes against against Sultai, which had a lot more defensive tools than this deck does. So usually not worried in these spots, but it's definitely something that can happen when you're not used to the deck yet and not used to different kill patterns that you have access to. So we'll just get Fling, we'll get a Disdainful Stroke, why not? And Soul Guide Lantern to clear out the yard. But this is just going to be a Lethal Fling. Alright, so that was pretty smooth and easy. Things looked a little bit iffy. Our opponent played 2 agents in 1 turn at one point. Our opponent drew 3 cards off an agent at one point, but Temur Clover persists. Yeah, I'm playing one of each, NH. It's kind of arbitrary. I just decided that I like them both, and so I'll just play one of each. I don't know if I'll stick to that list for the Red Bull tournament, but I'm happy with it now. Pasush. Okay, what's going to be? No companion. Heavily implies Team Wreck, but who knows? Definitely just a matchup where if we assume Team Wreck, we just get started with Innkeeper and we start the beatdown as fast as we can. Temple of Triumph. All right. Well, I don't know quite what this is. Would I rather have Stomp up or a Borrow? On turn 2, I can just Stomp them. No matter what happens, they might not play anything that I actually want to Borrow, so we'll just hold up Stomp. Jave Rebello. I think that Mutate does seem like it could be tough. Garuda doesn't seem hard at all. You have 4 copies of Grafdigger's Cage in your main deck, essentially. Plus a bunch of counters you can wish for. Plus, Garuda itself doesn't necessarily kill you because Clover Borrower messes up a lot of the things they can go for with that.
That's the goal.
I feel pretty comfortable playing against Simic Garuda. Though I haven't played against it much, so famous last words. Wouldn't be surprised to see Clarion here, but that's essentially just a 1-for-1. Opponent's doing some kind of Jeskai control. Fire Prophecy. Alright. I'm interested, opponent. You have caught my interest. Could wish for escape this turn. I like the idea of keeping pressure up. Get him to 12 here. If they shadow this guy, I draw a card. I play Borrower afterwards. I put him to 9. Shiba Inured. Thanks for the follow. Jeskai Draft. Oh, Winota. Right, that's a deck. That makes sense. Okay. Sometimes I forget that Winota's a deck. But goodbye, Legion Warboss. Looks like we don't have to worry about Winota for a little while here. In fact, it's quite likely we just get the beatdown kill with the second Bone Crusher Giant at the ready. Let's just smash, and we'll plan to stomp something and cast Brazen Borrower this coming turn. Opponent looking really, really pressured. That's fair, Jeff Rebello. I just, yeah. It's not a matchup I'm worried about facing too much. If you're really worried, you could always try putting some Mystical Disputes into the deck instead of the other flex slots. People have tried that, and it seems to work okay sometimes. Okay, opponent's pretty dead. They might have a Stomp for this Borrower. Raise the alarm, okay. So they're gonna... Actually, that does keep them alive, sort of. It actually doesn't, because I can just fling a Bone Crusher Giant at them, so it doesn't really matter. But we'll get the extra damage in nonetheless. And wow, okay, didn't even need the fling. But I think we will get the fling just so our opponent doesn't feel like we're super lucky for drawing all these Bone Crusher Giants. We had him anyway. Actually, should have just gotten the fling first. This is a little bit BMing of me, so I apologize for that. Nice Temur Clover beatdown kill. A rare sight, but you do love to see it. Yep, Blazing Volley would have worked. There are many ways to eat the Reese's there, Kalis. Many ways. Merrick, I don't know. That's some pretty cutting sarcasm. I love it. NH Coor. Or not, oh, Red Bull. Why am I saying Red Bull? It's not Red Bull. It's just the Arena Open. Just the Arena Open. I keep saying Red Bull. Yeah, that was just straight Jeskai Winota. Old school. Very old school. I'm much more worried about the Grazer versions, which I expect to be probably more popular. Change my title. Oh, yeah. Title is mentioning Red Bull. We'll say, what's the Arena Open Prep? That's the name of this tournament. NH Core, you stomp and bounce their creatures, I guess. Kind of the same way you'd handle any aggro deck. Double Temple Hand. Double Temple's not great, but I love easy access to Of One Mind. I love Clover. I love having a bunch of scries to try and find some interaction. Hello, go to Anubis. What am I looking for here? Fae of Wishes. How's this game going to play out? We go turn 2 Clover, we go turn 3. If they bounce, I go Clover, Lovestruck.
We need to become Aaron.
Yeah, I'm okay with Fae of Wishes. I feel like we're going to end up with access to a lot of mana this game because Of One Mind's going to give us 2 cards. Simaza, Barreto FPS, thank you both for following. Yeah, I mean, NHQH, they just they're often short on mana. I wouldn't say the matchup's easy, but I have found it to be pretty comfortable the few times I played against it. Yes, welcome aboard, Barreto. Welcome aboard. Alright, so opponent plausibly setting up for Shatter. Oh, they're on no companion, I just realized. So I, again, don't really know what's going on with what they're up to. Let's just so make some tokens plus play Innkeeper is like sort of asking to get shattered. Which is a little sad, but I think we're still gonna ask to get shattered, given that we have more tokens to follow these up. Mystical Dispute the Innkeeper. Alright, no shatter. Pog. If they are a Planeswalker control deck, which Interplanar Beacon makes me think they probably are, I am happy to have some extra tokens down on board right now. Kept that land because I've got the Fae of Wishes. I just want to be putting down mana the next 2 turns, at the very least. There's the Clarion. That was all a weird sequence, chat. I don't know what to make of all that. So I think I just go tokens plus Beast. This might get swept up too, in which case Of One Mind just becomes a divination, but that's the thing. If your opponent's spending a bunch of time just sweepering you and not actually pressuring you on board, you know, not playing things that let your creatures live, you can just play this as a draw 2. It's okay just to draw 2 cards. Nothing wrong with that. Although it probably would be a little better as Adventurous Impulse. Alright, there's Sarkhan. So, worst comes to worst, we can just wish for Unsummon. Clean that up. But I think given that I have 8 draws that all get me to a clean answer to this dragon, I'm pretty happy just to start with Beanstalk. We'll fetch red and blue, cast Of One Mind, have red and blue up to be able to double stomp or double borrow. Alright, we hit neither of those things. That's alright. So we'll just swing with Lovestruck, presumably trade with a dragon, and then cast another Lovestruck. And double Fae of Wishes next turn should give us plenty of tools. The thing that scares me most right now would just be a Dream Trawler out of the opponent, but Fae of Wishes can find answers to that as well. Hey, Jason, good to see ya. Congratulations on the giant streams you've been having lately. Everybody, in case you're not aware, this is a Magic Fest Online winner. I don't remember the name of this tournament. Magic Fest Online, I think. Magic Fest Online winner Jason Florent, who did great honor to Temur Clover by taking that one all the way through the tournament. Alright. That's cute. Get some lifelink beats going. Lose my humans again. Deafening Clarion decks definitely have a habit of making Lovestruck Beast look awkward. What am I doing now? Do I want to clear this out? Wouldn't hate clearing out. Our opponent does run like main deck counters, so that's a thing I've got to be slightly wary of. Feels like some combination of... Can't quite wish for anything that gets back like a 1-1, just attack Sarkhan down. That would be the most convenient thing to do. Probably just want to grab like Red Cat Melee and Escape the Wilds. Let's do that. I also just play Beanstalk Giant this turn and like take another 4 from Sarkhan because who cares, but my preference is just keep the opponent's board down. Alright, and we have a lot of lands discarded to this for another go-around later as well. Take Escape. Do I play out an untapped land to player on Mystical Dispute? No, I don't think so. Oh, they don't have Mystical Dispute mana up, so the answer is definitely not. The answer is definitely not. Goodbye, Sarkhan. Love the way this card hits Planeswalkers. Hand them a Cast Fae. If they have a Shadow the Sky, they can stop me from bringing this back to my hand if I draw a card off of that. And it means they're not shattering Beanstalk Giant.
We need to become
Definitely Clarion doesn't kill Fae.
That's the goal.
So feeling relatively safe. Halgran, you are correct. Temur Clover is proud of Jason Florent. El Hefriel, thanks for the follow. Oh, we got Cardboard Live commands active now, huh? Do I turn off... I'm trying to think if I should turn off Nightbot here. Because we're getting double commands. Alright, opponent draws their top decked fires in the late game. You love to see it. And Tef has not a lot of good choices here. Yeah, let me disable this Nightbot command for a second. Okay, so opponent just pluses the Tef. That's wise. But I do just get to attack to death if I hit a 1-1 off this Escape the Wilds, which is pretty likely. This game is over now. I think our opponent has no real way of coming back from the amount of value we can generate and the way we can just loop through our deck pretty much at will. So we'll just try to be efficient here. Alright, so if I play all the Clovers out, there's a chance that we get like Heliod's Intervention or something, which would be moderately awkward. So what I'm going to do is just play the Clover off of Escape, hold the other one in hand, have Fae of Wishes ready to come back to my hand just in case, and pass the turn like that. So I guess opponent could be like an Inspired Ultimatum deck. Inspired Ultimatum could be pretty threatening, actually. They could just go Inspired Ultimatum into Inspired Ultimatum. That would be a really funny way for me to die. They've got exactly 7 lands. Alright, do it, opponent. Show me. Inspired Ultimatum into Inspired Ultimatum. It would appear not. Alright, so given that they're not doing that, we now just get to wish for a bunch of counterspells, and that will clean things up nicely. Negate. Stroke. And of course the coup de grace, the once and future to get back Negate and Disdainful Stroke. It's got 7 lands out that can make a 5/5 Shark. We'll refrain from attacking with Innkeeper, just in case. And we'll just hold up every counterspell in the world. Good old Temur Clover Prison. Oh, goodness. Wow. All right. As I was, like, playing lazily through this game, we got a bunch of gift subs from Outdoor Grain. Thank you, Outdoor Grain. That's just outstanding. Your generosity of the stream, as always, is noted, and I will forever repeat my offer. Please do let me know if there's anything I can do to be helpful to you. I just like Wish and Kevlar. What can I say? Alright, we're going to let our opponent do this Fae of Wishes, I guess. I could have countered that, but I might as well just counter whatever they wish for. I guess they could get, like, Commence the Endgame or Shark Typhoon, and then I can't counter it, but I don't care about either of those cards. Hey, Maximilian. Good catch, good catch. Alright, they found Thought Distortion, actually. That's annoying. Alright, so I should have seen that one coming. Thought Distortion is definitely a card people like playing. We'll just, once in future response, get back 2 creatures. Very annoying opponent. Very well done. Very well done. Glace 4. Sultai Clover, I think, has had a lot of problems every time I've tried to play it, and I don't think those problems have gone away. Namely that Murderous Rider is way worse than Bone Crusher Giant. Like, just absurdly worse. It's really hard in the mana. It costs you a lot of life to use it. You can't go after players with it. I think black cards are better than red cards for your sideboard, but I also think that losing Escape the Wilds is a giant cost that's pretty hard to make up for. Alright, we're now up to how many lands? We're up to 14 Power Beanstalk Giants, so if I just attack the opponent, they should just die, unless they have a Shark Typhoon, which it appears they do not. So letting them wish was a little bit lazy, but I correctly predicted that no one card they fetched there, especially no uncounterable card, was going to matter. So here we'll take, let's say, Mystic Repeal for the fires. We'll get Fling to... And Plane-Wide Celebration. Sure. So we'll Mystic Repeal last so that they don't get to play cards on our turn. We'll go for second Innkeeper. They... Guess we'll hold up Borrower. We get to do Impulse as well that way. We're looking for Bone Crusher Giants mostly because they deal damage. Yeah, I'll take that one. And we're one short of having a Lethal Fling. That's fine. Okay, just hardcast Fae. And opponent could block to stay at 1, but they know it doesn't matter. Alright, GG's go to Anubis. Alright, almost a top 100. This is good. This is good. This is meant to be a top 100 stream. Proud of your axe. Thanks for the follow. Oh, I didn't even see the GG go to Anubis. I was paying attention to something else for a moment. But hey, I did recognize you as somebody I'd seen around the stream. Great to play against you. Yeah, Clover seems tough. How do you feel playing just regular walkers? Do you feel like it's a good choice against Luca? Just a good choice against all the aggro in best of 1? Yeah, I should have just negated the Fae, honestly. I was just curious to see what was going to come out of the sideboard. As a Fae of Wishes player, I always want to let the Fae of Wishes player make some choices. Okay, Kahira the Orphan Guard. So it's either like Planeswalker Control or Gruul Fires. Very different decks. We've got a little bit of an awkward one here. I don't mind having double Fae if they come with an Innkeeper usually, but the fact we can't curve out 1/2 Innkeeper into Fae is a little bit iffy. The Faes do give me ways to remove fires, but the removal of fires is slow. It's a close one. It's a close one. Gonna try for the keep. Fae is like an okay blocker against Gruul Fires sometimes. Ketria Triome doesn't tell me much. Clover's good, but all I really want now are lands. Darn. Okay, so I can keep this Beanstalk Giant and just hope I get a land off of it. If I don't get a land, I'm going to feel really bad. I'm going to feel really bad. I have to bottom this, chat. I have to bottom it. Sorry. A serious stream here. If we were playing casually, I would totally keep it and we'd try to get the luck. But no, we're just going to put that back and look at that. Next card was not a land. We are making wise decisions here. This is just Innkeeper. I need to draw lands. Innkeeper gives me a chance of drawing lands. I don't expect our opponent to have that much removal. Just Kahira, that's fine. We've got lots of 5/5s for you. And now we get to start deploying the 5/5s. Question is, do I get Clover down this turn? Let's just play a 5/5. Opponent has probably a bunch of Questing Beasts in their deck, and I am not looking to mess around with those. If the opponent goes like Scampering Scorcher, I'll be a bit sad. Wouldn't want to see a Scampering Scorcher out of them right now. Fires into Questing Beast also bad. Just regular Questing Beast is fine. Really thought they were attacking with Kahir there for a second. They were not. That makes sense. Happy to trade a 1-for-1. All right. Lots and lots of expensive spells. We kind of knew that's what we were signing up for. Do I just jam double Fae here and just draw 2 cards? I've got double Escape. I don't really think I need the Fae. They clearly don't have fires. Yeah, I'm just double Faeing. They also probably have a bunch of Gem Razor, so I'm not super looking to run Clover out early. Yeah, we honestly don't need either of these, so let's just draw cards and block. Love doing both of those things, drawing cards and blocking. Amelia Chocolate, thanks for the follow. Alright, there's the fires, great. So they jam the fires right after I cast both Fae of Wishes, which admittedly is me being a little bit maybe too confident that we weren't about to get fires, but I think they must have ripped that off the top, right? There's no way they didn't just rip that off the top. Alright, so we are still Bone Crusher-less. Would love to hit a nice Brazen Borrower. Would love to hit a nice Brazen Borrower. Do I go for Impulse? I can also just go like Token, cast Lovestruck, have a blocker for Cavalier. But I'm an Adventurous Impulse. I don't mind doing the Token Lovestruck play if this misses on anything relevant, which of course it did. I can also just go Innkeeper into Lovestruck, which sets me up nicely. Let's do that. Alright, we could die here. We could die. They've got a lot of their big scary plays available and online, potentially. Casting both Fae did not let me handle the top decked Fires Invention. But we also have a lot of 5/5s. It's not over yet. The thing that terrifies me is Embercleave. Embercleave is a card we really can't beat, not having found a Brazen Borrower yet. If we had hit a Brazen Borrower with this Adventurous Impulse, I would just cast Lucky Clover and thrown Caution to the Wind and let my opponent untap. But maybe a sketchy keep plus a weird draw has compounded into a position where I think we're pretty behind. Especially with Bonder's Enclave just ripping cards for the opponent every turn. Embercleave is positioned to just murder us. Yeah, I don't think this matchup's too bad, Sunbur Hansen. If you have like the Fae ready to counter the fires, like we have, it's the same thing against Ruger Fires, right? You just need to answer the fires when it comes down, and we just happen to have been privy to an absolute masterpiece of bad timing. Alright, Vivian is scary. We are going to need to block in such a way that I can actually kill Vivian. If they have Embercleave, I'm not winning this game, which is just the way of the world. But I want to try and preserve my ability to kill Vivian on the backswing. Problem is this beast has Vigilance because of Kahira. So I'm actually sort of obligated to block that, aren't I? That leaves me with Fae of Wishes and Edgewood Keeper alive. Yeah, we're actually not killing Vivian on the backswing. I take it back. So we're going to do this. Yeah, this sequence makes the most sense. I don't want to take 9 off of this thing. Alright, not getting Embercleaved is Pog. Opponent's not even out of spells yet. Shifting Ceratops, great. With green mana. Yeah, this is the hard part. This is the part I don't love. So they're pumping out a ton of monsters every turn. I don't have an answer to their fires. I don't have access to a Storm's Wrath. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. XXC Dog, thanks for the follow. Double Escape, still just languishing in my hand. Yeah, this was not a good keep. I think this keep was a little too slow, and I really should have just gone for a better 7. But that's a good lesson to learn. We like learning those lessons. So this turn, it's Clover into
That's the goal.
double token Lovestruck. Opponent gets to do a bunch of things next turn, and we're probably not winning, but I'm trying to set up so I can like escape into a double Borrower. Maybe accomplish something. Another option I had was to double Beanstalk into Lovestruck without the tokens, which might have been better, actually. Yep, Luca's an excellent matchup, Sunbur Hansen. And, I mean, this one is not, like, easy by any means. Like, big monsters coming at you fast is something that Clover has always had some weaknesses to. But I think without fires, their deck is just terrible against you. And the odds of them being able to keep a fires in play are not that high in most games. Glaze4, thanks for the follow. Cavalier Flame not having trample, as always, kind of a saving grace. Are they just going to pump everything they have into haste? Wow, just everything going hard at my face. They're not even giving this trample, which is funny. Do I just like keep Lovestruck Beast alive to kill Vivian and just double chump? I'd honestly even chump this Beast token, but I don't see a reason to do that right now. Yeah, I'm a double chump. Keep Lovestruck Beast alive. Opponent has plenty. Okay, they do have the Embercleave here, so we are dead. Well done, opponent. Alright, so very awkward game. Opponent basically, on turn 4, did not cast Fires and cast something else instead, which made me think I was safe to go Shields down and cast Touffet of Wishes, when in fact I was not safe to go Shields down and cast Touffet of Wishes, because they top decked Fires in the next turn. Just an accident of sequencing. Yep, Benny Dubs, I think this deck is very, very possibly the best of one deck you can be playing. Definitely what I'm going to be playing in the Arena Open. And it's good to get reps against all sorts of decks, because I expect that field to be pretty wide. Alright, Double Clover. You pretty much any hand with Double Clover that can actually cast spells, we can definitely cast spells. So, off we go. Fae of Wishes. Yeah! We have an escape. Fae of Wishes getting Grafdigger's Cage and or Soul Guide Lantern is excellent against the variety of cycling decks that are out there. We don't have any ramp at the moment.
We need to become Aaron Gertler tonight, chat.
I actually think I bottom this. I think with Escape in hand and Double Clover, I just want to be hitting spells that are interacting with the opponent. Temple of Plenty. Alright, so this looks like it's going to be white-green Luris Auras. Pretty happy with the choice not to keep Fae, given that. Plan is just going to be find as many copies of Stomp and Borrow as we can. Nefer, thanks for the follow. Hushbringer, alright. Opponent's doing the fairly unusual choice there. So I'm actually going to, I would love to just stomp this into the ground if I could. I'm just going to Venture Impulse first because I would rather stomp than play Clover if I get the chance to stomp. So we're just going to take out this first creature. Always important to take out the first creature against these decks, deprive them of the ability to use auras. We don't have an answer to Luris right now, but our opponent doesn't necessarily know that. Alright, they got a second creature here, Season of Growth, into a 1-drop. Alright. Another Bone Crusher would be real good. Otherwise, they do get to start drawing a lot of cards and getting a lot of life. Alright, third Clover was not really what the doctor ordered. This might be awkward. We needed like one more piece of interaction there. And I don't know how I feel with the white-green version of this deck. I think mono-white is fine because they just can't draw cards. I do think that facing off against the Season of Growth version of this deck is kind of terrifying, because we could just die in the next 2 turns with no way of stopping them. Like, if they just go Aura into all the glitters, and then next turn they just go all the glitters into another Aura, we are just going to lose to that. Very likely. It's possible that I was not supposed to have double stomped there, and I should have just waited for more Auras to come down. That makes us vulnerable to God's Willing, but also restricts our opponent's ability to do something like this. Hard to say. So, no all the glitters yet. I think we're just going to escape the wilds and just trying to find as much interaction as we can. Innkeeper into Bone Crusher is just real slow. Whoops! Clicked the wrong spell in my hand, chat. I clicked the wrong spell in my hand. Never mind, that's a problem. Alright, we even drew the second Innkeeper, though, so it looks like the Shockland was intentional. You love to see it. Darn. Would we just think what card I'm supposed to have in the sideboard for this matchup if we're thinking, like, what's the ideal Fae of Wishes thing to go for? And I don't really know what the ideal Fae of Wishes thing is to go for in this matchup. Second Season of Growth. Means we're not dying this turn. Also, of Life and Bounty is a pain in the butt. Means that we're going to have a really hard time finding enough interaction to take out the Hawk. I assume our opponent's not going to tap out here. He's going to hit us for some Vigilant Lifelink damage. Alright, Forest. Escape is going to hit us. Nothing important. We do get triple Fade next turn, which could bail us out, but I do still kind of expect us to die to the double Season of Growth, honestly. We'll see how it goes. What are we fetching off of the phase next turn? There's a question. Patrick, maybe like once in a very long while when Arena was just lagging generally. It's not been a huge issue. So we can Fae of Wishes. So next turn we get to go quadruple Beanstalk, ramp a bit. Use Fae of Wishes to grab Unsummon. This all assumes they don't have all the glitters. If they have all the glitters, we lose. Yep. Okay. Not quite exactly dead. 9-9, but very dead to the next thing. And there's the next thing. So good game, opponent. Yep, just oof. Yeah, the Season of Growth version of this deck is much better looking than the mono white one. That is not my favorite thing. And yeah, Symphony games, I don't like Barrier Breach against many of the things people suggest Barrier Breach against. It seems pretty bad against Jeskai Luka, for example, but this specifically does feel like a deck where Barrier Breach could be a reasonable sideboard card. What else is reasonable as a thing to bring in against this deck? Blazing Volley is just a cheap way to get rid of Alcy. It's nice. If we had cast Escape correctly that turn instead of accidentally casting Edgewelling Keeper, I think we also would have had a good shot in that game. Maybe. All right, once again, double Clover. Kahira the Orphan Guard. Did we just play this person? Is this the same Kahira person we just played against? Feels like it might be. Gonna start with Impulse. Looking for Beanstalk Giant, also like Lovestruck Beast. Yep, definitely just Gruul Fires again. Reluctant to run out these Clovers, Jund Fires. Okay. Slightly reluctant to run out Clover because Gem Razor is a magic card, but I think it's still the play. Could have gone to Shock and a land there so I can go for a clean Innkeeper plus double plus token next turn. Nope, they just have Gem Razor. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, chat. Opponent has their turn to answer. Borrower is really good. Borrower I like. Problem is bouncing Angrius just lets him kill a Clover again, which I'm not that interested in. Could just cast Lovestruck Beast here. Pretty into going Clover tokens because next turn I can go Innkeeper Beast. If they have like Fire's Questing Beast, we're probably going to die. This seems like a pretty reasonable best of one deck, frankly. Heals faster than the Karuga Fires decks as far as actually being able to present a clock against Jeskai Luka. Not the Jund version, maybe, but just the Redgrave version that just gets to play Bonder's Enclave seems pretty good. I might build and test this a little bit. Like, in best of 3, it feels really easy to answer what their threats are, but as a best of 1 deck, maybe. Wonder if the opponent has another Anguirus and just thinking about mutating it to kill Clover again. Nope. Okay, 4th lane Ceratops, so can't bounce that one. Can block it with Lovestruck Beast. We're sort of in a position again where I'm just dying to Embercleave. Didn't really have another option against how fast their draw was here. But against things that are not Embercleave, we have reasonable chances. Something else I've been looking for is just like trying to play a good Embercleave deck in Best of 1. It feels like the meta has finally gotten to the point where people don't know what to do about Embercleave anymore. And that card is really, really messed up when people aren't ready for it, chat. Really messed up. The Great Henge. Okay, speaking of things that are kind of messed up, that's good. Definitely an unusual version of this deck. Probably the right move here is just not to attack. I could see holding back Shifting Ceratops, not wanting to trade that off too. That's reasonable. Okay. Yeah. I think we're kind of forced to trade with this. Can't just let it go by. We can double bounce Henge Kahira next turn, leaving us open to Ceratops, and yeah, not having Fae of Wishes seems good. Problem is I have literally no artifact removal in my sideboard right now, which people are going to be playing the Great Henge. I guess I want artifact removal in my sideboard, huh? Or like an Ether Gust or something? This is a challenge, chat. It's a challenge. I think it's not one we're actually going to win here. Getting kind of beaten up today. Like, definitely can't let them untap with Great Henge, so we're just going to bounce that, bounce Kahira. They get to just recast it and recast Kahira next turn. But if they don't have another land drop, I suppose they can't trample over us, which is good. But I have no permanent answer to Great Henge, which means I'm probably just dying. Where's all the Jeskai Luca today? Has Jeskai Luca just been chased out of Best of One? Are people not playing it anymore? Alright, so they are keeping up their ability to actually give trample with the Ceratops, so even with Fae of Wishes coming off the top, I just don't think we have a way out of this, unfortunately. All of our creatures are tiny. So we're just going to die. Very interesting. Alright, so Gruul Fires may be popular. Maybe a bad matchup. Any of the main deck Gem Razor decks are pretty awkward for Clover. That card definitely is probably the single best card printed against Clover in the last set. Interesting. Probably run a little bit more Clover out of the ladder, but this is making me want to see if I can just test some kind of really all-in deck. Like, Zvi Stompy seems pretty cool. Not as good against Healer's Hawk, I suppose, but good against a lot. Good in the sense of being a very consistent best of one style deck. Or just running Esper Yorion and just like grinding aggro into the dust with that. Very interesting. Let's run a little bit more Temur Clover here, but then I might try experimenting with some other decks. Probably this one, Renson, although it's been a tough run. We just lost 3 in a row. It is very, very rare to lose 3 in a row with Temur Clover. And it seems like it's just a lot of like very uninteractive decks we're hitting. Alright, Yorion Sky Nomad. That is more like it. So you want to be playing against this card all the time. And this card seems... It seems like good Yorion decks should beat the snot out of what we've been seeing for the most part. Honestly, I don't know. If the Gruul deck gets an Arboreal Grazer draw, they are faster than Agent of Treachery. Diablo 4, slightly different sideboard. You can see the differences in the list right now. I have a Plane-Wide Celebration over Expansion as an experiment, as a way to have a little bit more longevity against Rakdos. I've also got Blazing Volley for all the Obosh decks. In best of one, honestly, maybe just Great Henge is where it's at. Just play a Great Henge deck. Hope you don't hit too many of the Yorion ECD decks, otherwise you're golden. That card's really good. Maybe I should move back to a Great Henge and Clover. Yep, out to grain that list seems strong. I mean, I don't want to wish for Henge very much, Kevlar Man, but I could just play it in the main deck. It's still a plausible main deck card, as always. And we're just going to draw 2 this turn. No need to put down a random creature. Just hit some card advantage. You can wish for Henge. You just usually don't want to wish for Henge is the joke, Diabo. Kevlar Man exaggerates. I have wished for Henge before when it was on the board, and it was fine. It's just a pretty unlikely wish target. You don't end up getting it very often. Okay, I love that we're on pace to just counter a Fire Zone curve with Fae of Wishes. Edgewell Innkeeper, huh? So, a lot of options this turn. I could go Clover, double Stomp, just take the Tef out, be ready to go for a double Wish with Fae next turn. Problem is, my only other land is a tap land, which means that Fae can't get Mystic Repeal if they have a Fires, and cast on Fires at the same time, which is very bad. So that makes me lean heavily toward casting the Temple this turn. If they do go Fires, play something that can double bounce the Fires in the thing, but that's kind of not a great use of Brazen Borrower. So going Temple seems pretty good this turn. Probably just Temple, Clover, Innkeeper. Innkeeper's vulnerable, but if they waste a Shatter or something now, it's fine by me. Like, we don't need Innkeeper to win the game here. We got plenty of card draw. Lucky Clover. With Escape the Wild's ready to pop off, I'll keep that one. That is true, Kevlar Man. That is true. So we're running an Innkeeper into Open Fire, which is fine if the opponent spends a turn killing it. And they're not playing another Planeswalker that adds to the board, which is good. We've got Escape, so we don't really need the Innkeeper. There's the Fires as expected. What else is coming down? Another Tef, that's fine. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it bounce Innkeeper so it doesn't just get killed. They bounce Clover, that's brave. Alright, they went for the Clover. Cool, cool. Well, I think my play is pretty simple. We're just going to... I could go, like, bounce the fires, play Clover or something, and go for a double Fey next turn. But I don't really want them going fires into free spell next turn. Or do I? Honestly? I'll just go bounce the fires, cast Bone Crusher. Bounce the fires, kill the Tef, play the Clover. Next turn they go fires into something. If they go fires into Luca, that's like a pretty big issue because I don't have a 6th land guaranteed, which means I can't Fey for Mystic Repeal and a Luca answer. I do get a land I can Fey for Mystic Repeal Cage, which is really good. All right, I'm gonna try the slightly riskier play. Famous last words. Do I think companions are too good for standards? Fighting Walloon. Obviously some of the companions aren't. I think plenty of companion decks are super fair. I think the mechanic was designed quite a bit too powerful out of the gate, obviously. I think in some cases they make for interesting games. I've certainly enjoyed playing some of the companion decks that I put together. On the whole, I think I would prefer if they were just cards you played in your main deck. And the companion... I'm looking forward to seeing how the companion rule changes are implemented if that ends up happening. That is something I wouldn't mind seeing. Alright, so... I could just stomp the Narset a bunch. If I Fey now, it's like double wish. We go and get Mystic Repeal, take out fires, attack Narset to 2. Narset gets to draw another card for them, though, which could be other fires. Do I delay another turn on taking fires out? Outdoor Grain. I actually tried a build of Yorion Adventures. Did not go super well. Turns out you really want to draw Edgewell and Keeper and cards like that. And when you don't, everything is much worse. Alright, yeah, this is the point where I'm going to stop ignoring fires. We're just going to grant it. I wish I could get Fabled Passage right now. I miss having that in the sideboard. We're just going to pick up Mystic Repeal and I think Grafdigger's Cage. I got plenty of card draw in hand. I just want to be able to insulate myself from getting Luca'd. Since there are already 2 Tefs down, Grafdigger's Cage is going to be pretty consistent at sticking around and stopping nonsense from them. Yeah, Yorion just doesn't help the deck that much. It's another thing. Yep, Dragonflank, I think the rest are largely fine. I think if those 2 disappeared from the format, Karuga Fires might come roaring back with a vengeance, but those, most of the companions are completely fair. Alright, they immediately Narset into another Fires, which is exactly what I was afraid of. But Grafdigger's Cage still shuts off the scariest things they're capable of doing with fires. Next turn I can just escape, play Cage, feel pretty safe. Alright, just going to kill my Edgewell. Alright, Edgewell traded 1 for 1 and poked a couple Planeswalkers. You did a good job, buddy. Go rest now. Ooh, okay. Change of plans. Before we escape, we're actually going to get a lot of mana into play. That is what I'm doing instead. So the fact that I have a billion copies of Stomp means I can kind of hold tight and not be afraid of getting Luca'd, and I'm actually not going to play out Cage this turn. Since, again, Luca not a threat. We're just going to hold up a Borrower that I can flash in to attack Planeswalkers. And just wait. So opponent could go Agent. They could go like Land. If they go like Land, Agent, Stuff, I'm kind of annoyed, but I can stomp an Agent before it gets bounced by a Yorion. Narset's not going to find them any agents. Yeah, Henge is pretty hilarious with Yorion. I think there's probably a great Yorion Henge deck in this format somewhere. That's the thing I'd be interested in finding. Ooh, opponent finds out Luca, but they're not going to expose it. They're just going to make a token. Very nice opponent. Of course, this gives me absolute way just to cast Borrower and eat Narset, which is really good. So opponent's basically doing kind of everything they want here. We're not putting up that much resistance. But instead, we're just accumulating the usual pile of resources that are absolutely going to dumpster them. We also have a Grafdigger's Cage, so I don't really know what they're aiming at. If they try and make a Shark, I will kill their Shark. with a stomp. Goodbye, Narset. Hello, Escape to the Wilds. Lumia fires? I don't understand what... Oh, you mean... Oh, Luca fires, I assume, Young Cyanide. Yep, that deck's pretty good. Alright, so I get 2 land drops this turn. Yeah. Believe so. Yeah, 2 land drops, which means I get to go 3rd Clover, quadruple stock. This has been a very good draw. This has worked out nicely. It's helped that our opponent's playing a deck that, unlike Rule Fires, is not just running us down. Not being run down is super good news for Temur. These are almost certainly just like shatter bait, but I don't really care. Opponent is welcome to shatter if they want to shatter. Probably should have cared a little bit more. Alright, Luca is in. What is Luca gonna do? If the plan is like Luca into Tef, our opponent's gonna be really sad. Whoa, okay. I think our opponent thinks Grafdigger's Cage doesn't work. Our opponent thought Grafdigger's Cage doesn't work. Our opponent has learned a lesson. Yeah, it's great. You know I like seeing good deck lists. Would be happy to take a look at that one. Happy to take a look at that one. Well, Panther Reloaded, I like to think of this as like the XKCD comic about how for everything that you think everybody knows, there are actually 10,000 people who have to learn every day so that everybody continues to know it. And our opponent today is just one of those 10,000 people who has now learned that Grafdigger's Cage shuts off Luca. Second Luca, alright. I don't understand what this plan is. Do they think it's going to work this time? No. I guess they just needed to find something to do. We are going to stomp a lot of their board to death at the end of this turn. Thanks for the reference, Tammy. Alright, so Yorion dies. Grafdigger's Cage means they can't ECD it back, which is very exciting. Throw a little bit of extra firepower over at Luca. Actually, technically our opponent was just dead to being octuple stomped and just attacked. I forgot about the whole octuple stomp into attack line. But, whatever. Okay. So now that we passed up on the line that just killed them immediately, I could just ignore Luca. Luca doesn't really do anything. It looks 3 deep for Agent of Treachery, which is fine. We can just stomp it to death in response if it does anything that looks dangerous. So we'll just attack the opponent. Jam a beanstalk, I suppose. And one more thing. I guess it's just Fae, right? I can, like, not retrieve it that easily, but I can sort of retrieve it. I think if they shatter, I'm not going to need to use Bone Crusher, so I can just get Fae back. If they try to do, like, I don't know, a Tef or something, then Bone Crusher can come out. Ooh, good command, Tammy. Good command. Okay, no agents again. How unlucky. Unlucky. Alright, now that we're doing this, we're just bringing Fae back. And, yeah, clean this one up with just a fling. Nothing fancy. Man, playing as Jeskai Luca is like incredibly relaxing. Why can't all decks be like this?
We need to
people have to
become
play really
Aaron
good cards like
Gurtler
Healer's
tonight,
Hawk against
That's
me.
the goal.
Seto Kaiba 420, thanks for the follow. I'm honored to have the Duel Master himself watching over me. Alright, that felt good, I enjoyed that. Definitely want to test some other decks in Best of 1 at some point, given how random the field is looking right now. Tiny part of me wants to bring back, like, Obosh Black-Green, just play, like, that Great Henge deck, because I love a good Great Henge deck. Problem is that deck just gets dumpstered by Luca, I would expect. Let's see if we can get Temur Clover back in the top 200, then I might switch to, like, Mono Green Stompy. Beautiful Cadaver, hey, thank you for the subscription. Great to have you as a new subscriber. Thanks for using your Twitch Prime here. A lot of other great streamers on Twitch, but I'm honored that you've chosen me. Ooh, wow. So yesterday I was telling Tammy about how you should never, ever, ever keep hands without a green mana source, but the exception is when your hand is an of one mind hand, because that's a lot of draws toward a green mana source. And the rest of the hand is total gas. So we are in for this. You're seeing a very, very rare occasion where I'm willing to keep a hand without green mana. Yeah, Luca really doesn't have much interaction, it doesn't have much aggro, it really doesn't have much of anything. Besides, like, a weird combo that happens to bully a lot of the established decks. Alright, so we just need one mind to hit us some green mana. Maybe some Beanstalk Giants to go with it. Not asking for too much here, I think. Well, we keep drawing blue cards, so that's not the worst either. There we go. Green sources. Double borrower means we're not dying. Wow, Outdoor Grain has re-upped here. Thank you for the series of gift subs. Something weird happened in one of your messages. Did you... Oh, there's a spam message in the chat? Yeah, could someone clear that out, please? Tammy, would you mind deleting that? There was something weird with one of the resubscribe messages. It looked very like a spam type thing. I don't know what that was. Alright, so this turn we're going to go Clover into... Is it Clover into Clover? Clover into Clover is outstanding if I happen to just hit an untapped land for Fave Wishes next turn. Makes all the borrowers awkward to use forever, but I think that's already going to be the case with one Clover, so might as well double it up. Outdoor Grain, thank you for the series of gift subs. And for being, as always, my very best patron here. Glace, have not touched the Gruul Marauding Raptor deck. All the Umori Stompy type decks I've tried have been sort of medium. Like, it's just not my favorite playstyle. But, it's plausible. I should probably try it out a little bit at least. Okay, so opponent might be able to Luca us. Drat. Opponent might be able to Luca us, so am I forced just, like, bounce Tef, bounce a wall, and then just... Yeah, I might be forced to just bounce Tef, bounce a wall here, huh? If I Fae of Wishes, Luca just dumpsters me here, because if they take a land away from me, then I'm just in, like, a super sad position. Problem is they could just go, like, cycle Shark Typhoon or play an Omen and then just have Luca the next turn anyway. So, change of plans here is I don't actually think we're going to try and play around that. We're going to keep this untapped land, which is really good. We're going to Fae. Grab a bunch of cards, and hopefully have what it takes to survive one Luca. Getting Grafdigger's Cage for sure. We'll take Escape to the Wilds as well. And as a third pull, what do I want? Storm's Wrath is actually really good at cleaning up against a Luca turn, so I'm actually just going to take Storm's Wrath. Because beyond Luca, not a lot scares me. Alright, is it Luca time? It is Luca time, we're going to get Agented. Presumably Agent just takes a land, and then it's an interesting game from there, honestly. We get to kill their whole board. But we are down on mana. We can Cage to stop future Lucas from happening, but the opponent can just hard cast Agents at this point. So let's see how this all goes. Hardcast Agent would be bad. Beyond that, nothing much scares me because Escape the Wilds is going to get us way ahead on resources again. But Agent scares me. Darn! Opponent! Ah. Just drew one of those agents, huh? Okay. Edgewell Innkeeper is actually pretty reasonable. Yorian's bad, but I can bounce all their stuff in response to Yorian coming down, so I'm just going to cast Edgewell Innkeeper this turn, see how they want to play this turn out. Hopefully hit that 5th land at some point. Yeah, Agent's rough. Agent's rough. Agent into fires, okay. Into I expect Yorian. Alright, in response to Yorian, we're just going to bounce our opponent's entire board. We're not at this yet, but I do need to hit a land sometime, since we are giving them Agent back here. Can't avoid giving them Agent back. But yeah, it turns out they didn't have Shark Typhoon or an Omen of the Sun, so he might have been punished by letting them have that token up and get to their 5th land drop. Could easily have been a mistake on my part. So opponent probably wasn't expecting that. Fires, they can't cast any more spells off of, so we're temporarily safe from Agent. But I really, really need that untapped land. If we miss a land drop and then Agent just comes down, we're in big trouble. Beanstalk Giant. There we go. It's not exactly a land drop, but I'm pretty darn happy to see it. So now we get to go, I guess. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game, chat. This is going to be a really interesting one. Our opponent's going to get to Agent us a lot. And the question is just, can we keep up enough land drops to fight on despite all of that? So we're doing that. I could triple Fey here. I'm not sure what I'd be triple Feying for. Opponent's next turn is almost certainly just going to be Agent into Yorian. At which point I guess I double bounce Agent Yorian, leave them with the fires, so they can't play any more spells after that. They are going to get one of my lands at that point. But I'm just going to cast Fey of Wishes, leave up the triple bounce, try to keep hitting land drops. Ooh, Bone Crusher's great, actually. Never mind. Now we have triple stomp, which means I can just kill their Agent. Killing Agent seems much superior to any other play here. Okay, here's Agent. I assume we're going to see my Steam Vents get taken. I'm going to go after the Forest, huh? Interesting. All right, well, in response, we're just going to go ahead and stomp down the Agent. Hope they don't have another one. They're getting to the point where any Agent they have, if they untap with an Agent, they just have to draw a bunch of cards. But we've already seen them go through 2 Agents. Hopefully they're temporarily out of those. They got 1 spell left this turn. Alright, it's... Okay, now they have many more spells left this turn, but that did get the Yorian out of their hand. That's something. Narset's fine. Narset does not hit Agent, which is the main concern I have. Quite the interesting game we got here. Could use another Beanstalk Giant. Alright, opponent's digging for stuff that's relevant. Digging hard. Omen of the Sun. Alright. We're not really that close to dying, but this does make it more annoying to attack Planeswalkers. Fair enough. But they're almost out of cards. Fires is back. Sure. Let's cast Escape for sure. We just want to be trying to get land drops down. We'll keep open blue. Wouldn't be super averse to just... okay, what do we get? I was going to say I wouldn't be super averse to triple bouncing their 3 creatures here and just killing Narset. Putting them in a place where Yorian can get them tokens back, but doesn't do much else. But now that I have a Stomp, I think I'm just much more interested in stomping down the Narset. Yeah, we can just stomp Narset, stomp one of the tokens, put our opponent on 2 cards. No Luca's available. We're just going to do this. And I think I don't really need to play the other Innkeeper out this turn. I'll just play the Temple, leave myself the option to have an untapped land next turn. Although I'm still pretty happy to hit more lands if I can scry into them. Lands and Beanstalk Giants. Adventure Simple, so I'm keeping. That's basically either a land or a Beanstalk Giant. Probably it's oil princes. Yeah, that seems. Frankly, I'm not even necessarily kidding. Just people who have a lot of money plus a lot of time to watch Twitch kind of puts you in some specific demographics. All right. Our opponent's agent plan didn't really quite work, and so now they're at the point where their main plan is to cast Omen of the Sun. The secondary plan is worse, chat. The secondary plan is worse. All right, we'll start with Impulse, see if we hit a Beanstalk Giant, because that could change the character of the turn a lot. We did hit a Beanstalk Giant. Great, 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 great. So we'll do that. And now I don't think our opponent has too many outs from here. Bottle Brush, it's a great day. It's been a great day. Record with Temur Clover has been medium, but I'm just really enjoying the presence of my chat. Got a lot of gift subs.
We need to become Aaron
Dirtbert, thanks for the follow. We got Dirtbert as a follower. That's it's better than when Dirtbert was not following the stream. Much preferable.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
All right. Yes, I don't understand. I don't understand it myself, Drunken Vike. The Luca deck does seem quite feeble to me whenever I play against it, but of course I play an extremely specific deck that has an extraordinary matchup against it. Yeah, Blazing Volley, I guess, clips the tokens for whatever that's worth. Is that worth anything? I don't know if that's worth anything. I think I just take Disdainful Stroke, because it stops... Like, the two cards I care about are Agent and ECD at this point. I guess Tef's also annoying, so maybe I should just take Negate, too. Once time is running down, that may mean we suddenly disconnected. Did we suddenly disconnect, or has our opponent just decided to scoop? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I'll pick up a Negate too. Kind of having both of these around covers anything they could do. And then as a final pick, I'm just going to grab...
That's the goal.
Don't know. Hey, Cabeza. Well, that's that kind of you to say. I think I'm probably up there with Luis Salvato and maybe Autumn Burchett. Just Guy Ascendance and Artara, thanks for the follows. You can't count out Jason Florent either. Jason won quite a big tournament with this deck. All right, I don't care about Fires. I don't want Mystic Repeal. I guess it's just Once in Future. When in doubt, just take Once in Future and do all the things you were going to do, but just do them again. I don't need this Innkeeper to survive, really. I'm just going to cast Fae of Wishes. Did I even cast Fae of Wishes? Yeah, cast Fae of Wishes. We'll hold up both types of counterspell. If they play a Shark, we've got Borrowers out the wazoo. Bottle Brush, not really, actually. We actually got a new router, which I think is probably responsible for most of the good stuff. I'm running actually a service to check our the speed at which things are moving on the internet side, and it looks like things are very smooth and consistent here. Thanks, Black. Ooh, another Beanstalk Giant. Too bad I'm just short of using that. JCap, are you seeing a low rate here on your end? Haven't had too many complaints so far tonight. Yeah, I think people are just gradually learning to beat Luca, which is what happens with almost every Magic deck in the end. All right, so opponent's choice was to scry and then crack Fabled Passage. After which, perhaps they will scry again. Yep. Alrighty. Okay, opponent, what's your next trick? Ah, Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Alright. Do I even bother countering that? Like, I just don't, right? I can just bounce that whenever I want to. Yeah, you can have ECD. I actually don't care about this card at all. It exiles nothing. ECD might even actually be worse against us than against Lurrus somehow. I think that may actually be the case. I'm willing to block Save 4 damage here. Just don't want to get accidentally killed by a giant shark at some point if I get lazy. Opponent's done with stuff, so I think end of turn we're just going to clear out some of these tokens and bounce the ECD. You can have this back. Okay, we got Beanstalk as a good starting point for the turn. All right, perfect. Get all the rest of the basics. Not a single wasted movement. Temur Clover. And we got Fae of Wishes again, so I think I'll do that. I don't even know what I want to wish for. I just want to kind of do this. People are often surprisingly allowed to concede in pretty much any game. It's not just against Clover, it's just people hate conceding. People like fighting it out. Sometimes people feel like, oh, they deserve to play this out. They've done so much stuff this game, I might as well let them finish me off. Sometimes just maybe they'll screw up and I'll somehow win. Like, they don't have another bar, so they might be thinking maybe they can get me with a Shark Typhoon into a Tef or something like that. Wouldn't be surprised if that was the hope. I guess I'll get Soul Guide Lantern just to turn off any aspect of that card that could be considered useful. And Beanstalk Giants are now 16/16s. I'll cast a Beanstalk Giant. We've got a counter spell for a potential ECD, and with the triple stomp, we now just have them dead to fling next turn. I'll just wait. Discarding... boy. I guess I just discard Negate? I'll discard Soul Guide. Soul Guide's not going to be relevant to this game, actually. AK Mage, a little bit of sideboarding. It depends on the matchup. Frequently, you won't have a lot of time to wish for things, and so it's nice to be able to sideboard some stuff in that's a little bit better than the stuff you otherwise would have. It is like against Mono Red, for example, you often play Fae of Wishes out just to block, and so you bring in a bunch of cards that are good against Mono Red because you expect you won't have time to wish for them. Okay. Not Dead to Heartfire. Oh, yeah. Honestly, if the Orient deck wanted to improve its matchup against Temur, I wonder if it should just bring in like 1 or 2 copies of some random like Hex damage burn spell, just to catch people who are being like very lazy when they're clovering, given how many cards the Luca deck can usually see even a match they're losing.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Yellow Cheetos! Hey, well thanks for following up your sub with a follow. Great to see you completing your ascendancy to full Patron of the Edgewall Inn. Alright, is that enough Temur Clover for tonight? I feel like I should be doing some focus testing with teammates or something if I want to figure out this deck's matchups. I feel like I'm super comfortable playing it here. Yeah, exactly, Glaze 4. Nope, in 112, it's been pretty good, actually. It's been pretty good. Deep Harriet, thanks for the follow.
That's the goal.
Alright, so what are other decks that seem interesting for best of 1 play? We've got Zvi Stompy, named after Zvi Mauschwitz, who wrote a really good article about this deck on Cool Stuff Inc., and just in general is a great blogger about various topics.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Pretty much just relies on Sir Farron being kind of a card that no one had broken yet, and just pumping Sir Farron and dealing, 12 or 15 damage to your opponent on turn 3. Just being very, very fast. Very simple. We've also got Sultai Yarak Yorian, which is, I think, probably pretty reasonable against aggro, as far as Yorian decks go. Pretty reasonable against Luca. The kind of deck that I'm vaguely interested in seeing. It might be better in best of 1 before people start bringing lots of copies of Mystical Dispute, which we hate to see. So I might play a little bit of this one. And what else do we have? There's like the Green-White Luris Aura's deck. I just don't love the style of this deck. I feel like it's a little bit too fragile. There's Sultai Cats. Very plausible best of 1 deck. It kind of relies on a combo kill that you hope your opponent doesn't have counter spells for you, and I think it's probably pretty good against aggro by default, given how much life gain is sitting in here. Alright, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. Bald Bull, it's definitely not my Neo4 Mono deck. I stole it wholesale from someone who's playing in an MFO. It's good. It's better than regular Winota for sure, because it dispenses with all the stuff that's not playing Winota and killing people. I don't know if I like it that much, just because I kind of prefer decks that have a little bit more variety and play to them. Winota, the Neo4 Winota deck, even more than other Winota decks, either just wins on turn 4 or does not do very much in most cases. Obviously, it's an over-exaggeration, but it's just not super my style. All right, poll's about to go up. Ooh, darn. Now, straw poll's broken, chat. Straw poll is broken. All right. What we're going to do instead is, everybody, type in one of those 3 options in the chat. You have 30 seconds, and then I'm going to count everybody. I will use, I guess, a general impression of which deck is most popular. Please tell me what deck we're playing next in Best of 1. It was correct, Tammy. You see how straw poll's API returned an error? Okay, we got an early lead from Mono Green. It looks like Sultai Cat is roaring back a little bit. Ooh, it's close. It's close. It's close. Okay, we got 12, 11, 10, 9. Just say green or cat, Slay the Moon. Just say one of the words. Say one of the words. Beefeater, don't confuse people. Mirror March is an awful card, and I will never play it in a constructed deck. Never, ever, ever. All right, Mono Green is winning. Mono Green, Bald Bull, what are you doing? You can't raise both hands, Bald Bull. Okay, Mono Green has won this one. Voxy is rated with a party of 323. Hello there, Voxyites. Voxites. What do y'all call yourselves, Voxites?
That's the goal.
Hi to you too. Jimmy DeHaan, thanks for the follow. Okay, so we are going to
we need to become Aaron
do a little bit of quick cardboard live updating so people are going to be able to see the deck when it pops up. We're going to... Hey, Tammy, is the Nightbot command turned on for deck now?
That's the goal.
All right, so we're going to put this deck in cardboard live chat. Just wait a second, and I'll put it up on screen for the people who just walked in. Thanks, everybody. Let's get cracking with some Stompy real soon. And after that, we will play some Cat Citadel, because that was also pretty popular. I don't want to deprive y'all of Cat Citadel. So we're actually going to put both those decks in cardboard live just to save us some time with transitioning.
Aaron Gertler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Between them. Going to add a new standard deck. Zvi Stompy.
We need to
just got cardboard live down. I'm a little bit new to the interface, but it's actually pretty simple to use once you get used to it. Definitely like this. There are 61 cards in the main deck. I should probably fix that. Let me, I'm going to cut a copy of Titanic Growth. I am not a believer in Titanic Growth as much as I am all the other cards in this list. So
that's the goal.
That's gone. We're playing 22 lands, not 21, which we originally had. We're going to save this. And we're going to make one more deck here. We're going to make some Sultai Cat, Yorion, which I will pull up on screen because we're going to play a little bit of this as well tonight. This is all best of 1 testing for next week's Arena Open. Very likely to play Temur Clover because I think that's an excellent best of 1 deck. But you never know. Actually, I need to export it first. Give me one moment. Pull that back up. Let's see how well Cardboard Live handles companions. Cardboard Live handles companions poorly. Alright, let's try something else. Oh boy. Alright, so Cardboard Live can't really handle companions right now, it would appear. We could always upload a deck with a 95 card sideboard, but I would rather, I guess... I'll just mess around with the pasting a little bit and should be able to fix the syntax myself, hopefully. No luck. No luck. Oh, Cardboard Live, you're killing me, Cardboard Live, you're killing me. Alright, well, let's jump in the ladder with Stompy. We might just figure this out later. Get some gameplay going for those who are still sticking around. Thanks for your patience, folks. And in we go with Zvi Stompy. I have not played this deck at all before. This is literally the first time, but the sequencing does look like you're just kind of adding numbers together. So maybe we'll be fine. The Black Yeti, Blank 13, Legacy R, Magic Craig, The Distant Future, Whirlwind. Thank you all for following. Yeah, this hand is one we're supposed to keep.
We need to become
Star Streak Entertainment, thanks for the follow. Alright, so we get to play against the Boogeyman of the format right away. Let's see how this goes. If they're playing Deafening Clarion, we're in for a really sad time. If they have Shadow the Sky, we're probably in for a really sad time. This deck is very one-dimensional. Very unlikely to actually play it, but it looked fun. Omen of the Forge. Oh, no. This is the worst possible turn, chat. They played Interplanar Beacon, and then they showed us Omen of the Forge. This is all a very strong signal that they're playing a heavily anti-aggro tech version of their deck, and we're probably just going to get dunked into the ground by it. What a pity, chat. What a pity. Peace out, Web. Scroob, thanks for the follow. And this smells like Omen of the Sun, huh? And yet... Outdoor Grain, thank you for a new round of gift subs. Goodness gracious. Those of you who are new to the channel, this is Outdoor Grain. Outdoor Grain is my super patron. Has gifted, I think, like 25 subs tonight or something. It's been a crazy night. Boy, I can't really beat Omen of the Sun, can I? Like, I think I'm not supposed to attack here, but maybe they don't have it. Maybe I just gamble they don't have it. I'm attacking with one. I'm attacking with one. If they have Omen of the Sun, I can at least keep one around for Lovestruck Beast. But I have a horrible feeling about this, chat. I have a horrible feeling about what's going to happen here. Yep. Rornicus, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I think, chat, I think our fling with Green Stompy might last not very long. This actually probably is a worse best of one deck than best of three deck, because in best of one everyone is teched out for aggro. Best of three against Jeskai, maybe they don't have the Omen of the Forge, maybe you can surprise them a little bit. But I frankly don't see how we ever win the... Oh, good gravy. Alright, we're going to scoop this one right up, chat, and move on to one more match and try to get a little luck here. Maybe we go to best of three, actually. Water Bear, thanks for the follow. Maybe we go back to best of three and see if we can surprise people. The idea is to... Yeah, this is a best of three deck.
To become Aaron Girdler tonight.
You win a single... You try to win game one on surprise, and you try to win game three by being on the play, is I think how Zvi described it. Alright, we're going to try something new. Let's go one more round with Zvi Stompy, then we may go and do some cats. Cat does feel like a good best of one deck. Maybe we could be on the play too. Being on the play is probably good for this deck. It's just this feeling I've got. Yeah, I guess this is a keep. Titanic Growth is sort of like a removal spell.
We need to become Aaron.
If they stop my token, that's fine. Because I got lots of big boys coming out afterwards. The Looter Scooter. Thanks for the follow. Great name. Cabeza. Oh yeah, I remember. I think I remember seeing. Maybe it wasn't your tweet about this. Maybe it was someone else. But I'm really sorry to hear that. That's really rough.
Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Handle of Carthage. Dive Shark. Thank you both for following.
We need to become...
No, the Obosh deck had a second land, chat. That's so unlucky. Unlucky. Alright. Yeah, no more Titanic Growth. We're just going to go Surfarin here. Hope the opponent doesn't have a land into a Heraldic Banner. Looks like we're lucky today. Land in Heraldic Banner would be cheating, Andrew? All right, well, we're taking 5, but they're low on resources here. Hopefully Lovestruck into questing into Gem Razor can take this home for us. Stone Coil is a nice one, too. Gives me something to put Gem Razor onto, but for now we'll just Lovestruck. Oh yeah, the second land is definitely cheating. I don't understand how anybody is allowed to get away with that. No attacks here. There's some chance they're running main deck claim the firstborn, and I would rather be able to chump my own Lovestruck with a token if it came to that. The 1 damage is not likely to matter very much. Alright, is this the Tin Street Dodger attack for 1? You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Nice and slow, nice and slow. Alright, so this turn's going to be Questing Beast. We'll hold off on the gem. We'll try to hold off on the Gem Razor until our opponent casts something that. Now, do I attack with Lovestruck here too? They could not attack through a Questing Beast last turn, or they couldn't attack through Lovestruck last turn. They could have like double attack with Fervent Champion and have like a Stomp or something at the waiting for me. But then I just play my other Questing Beast, which otherwise would have been wasted. So I think I am attacking twice. Let's get him. Okay, Spitter means they need Shock if they want a safe attack. Grim Initiate, really? No. Okay, so opponent's claiming to have a Shock. I'm going to... Do I respect that claim? I'm going to respect their claim to have a Shock. Do I? Do I? Yeah, second Questing Beast in hand. Let's make them have it. They did have it, that's fine. Another one. At this point, I expect to see Chump Block start on Lovestruck. We maybe, given that they have this free Chump and that we kill them with Titanic Growth next turn, didn't need to do this. But with our token around a block, there's nothing they have that kills us. Maybe Junk Account, maybe. That could have been reasonable. I like the idea of being able to attack with Lovestruck Beast and not lose the token that way. That was a consideration. Alright, opponent is claiming to have a Shock or a Stomp here. But at this point, they are dead to Questing Beast plus Titanic Growth, so I don't care. Go crazy, opponent. Go crazy. Only thing that really stops is if they have, like, land Anax. Past that, nothing really matters. I guess 2 more Shocks could also do it. If they have the other 2 Shocks in their hand, we kind of get gotten with this line. But I didn't think so. Alright, that was game 1. True to form, managed to handle that one. I do have that Junk Account, but I kind of want to put Gem Razor on that. Alright, Mono Red. Do we bring in any removal for this matchup? Zvi admittedly admits that he put this sideboard together with very little thought, and it's just kind of random stuff. So I guess I could cut some pump spells. Obviously, it was great that game, but most of the time holding up pump spells feels hard. I think I like cutting Titanic Growth. Sir Farron dies to Shock. Sir Farron dies to Shock and Stomp. Let's get rid of Sir Farron. And I think I just bring in like 6 removal spells. Done. Gingerbrute's also pretty bad, but I think it helps to have the creature count be above a certain point. What's really going to help is being on the play for game 3. Keep this. Yeah! Soft to Shock and Stomp, but that's how it's going to go a lot of the time.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight.
Big Magic, thanks for the follow. Stone Coil is a really good pickup. Pump Spell Collector on turn 2 means we can get a big Gem Razor going against like a turn 3 Heraldic Banner. You're going to cheat with a second land again? No! Such chicancery. Such knavery. Alright, well, Anax is not a bad one for them to hit there. It means they're forced to choose between Anaxing and doing all that other stuff. My guess is they're just going to do all the other stuff, but it means we're likely to have a creature survive the turn. Gonna be an interesting race. And I wouldn't mind if Wizards just decide to print a green light up the stage. It feels only fair that green should have access to this effect. Right? Like, obviously green control and green mid-range can draw cards, but what about green aggro? How is green aggro going to draw cards? Did Wizards ever even think of that? So this turn is not as straightforward as it might look. Like, playing a 3/3 Stonecoil does pump the Pel Collector and give me 2 good blockers for Fervent Champion, but then Heraldic Banner is sort of awkward, because I'm just not blocking anything very effectively. I guess post-banner I just kill it with Gem Razor and that kind of clears things up. There's a part of me that wants to hold up Ram through and just be able to kill a Fervent Champion. But, nah, I should just get this down. Yeah, Kevlar Man, but none of them cost 1 mana. None of them cost 1 mana. And that part's important. Alright, Heraldic Banner coming down, so let's see. Well, it's still in... Alright. We get hit for 6. I am not gonna... I guess I could attempt a double block. Do I attempt a double block? What do they need to get me with this? They need to have, like, double shock, exactly? Yeah, actually, we're just gonna double block here. Perfectly happy getting rid of a Fervent Champion. We got the cards in hand advantage, so trading 1 for 1 is fine. Okay, these do not especially concern me. Giant Growth. So, options I have include... they're going to play Obosh next turn, so I really want to get this banner off the board and make Stonecoil Serpent very large. We're just doing that. Then I can just ram through the Obosh on the subsequent turn, which is great. Okay, seems fair. Rude. Ooh, not attack with Dodger, huh? Alright, opponent's next turn is just going to be cast Heraldic Banner. So I could just go swing with Gem Razor, cast Lovestruck Beast as a 5/5 blocker. It is a little risky. This Gem Razor just kills Heraldic Banner eventually. Could cast Lovestruck Beast and just intend to use it to block. I could make a 1/1 and then attack with Gem Razor and ram through one of their creatures after they banner. Still taking a lot of damage off of that, but Giant Growth puts me at... Actually, let's do this. Attacking with Gem Razor. Step 1. Okay. Step 2. I'm going to make a Lovestruck Beast token. And pass the turn. If they play Heraldic Banner, I'm going to ram through one of their creatures, and then I'm going to try and just kill them with Giant Growth in the backswing if they don't leave any blockers back. And it feels very plausible that they're not going to leave any blockers back. There are many ways this could go wrong, but I want to try it because it'll be really funny if it works. So if opponent draws land to go with this banner, they're dead. If they have like a haste 1/1, if they just sack with this and let me block Tin Street Dodger, I probably just block Tin Street Dodger? No? Okay. Alright, so this leaves me dead to exactly skewer the critics, which I'm fine with. Am I fine with that? Yeah. They could have another blocker post-combat. That gives me... In that case, I just win with Ginger Brute, though. If they have another blocker post-combat, I just win by going Ginger Brute into Giant Growth. Great. Okay. Goodbye, Tin Street Dodger. And Ginger Brute Giant Growth just kills them. Sorry, giant growth plus ram after blockers. Oh, ram through deals trample damage. All right, yeah, that's the thing I would say I always forget about ram through, but I don't really play that card much. Yeah. So actually just had lethal that turn. This deck's pretty good. Yep, definitely just didn't remember that trample damage is a thing on this green burn spell. All right, maybe we didn't get light up the stage on green. We did get green fling essentially. So I'm happy. All right, thing to remember: ram through does damage when you put it on a trample creature. That's cool. All right, so I dishonored the deck by playing it wrong. Let's get into one more match, try to do honor to the deck, and then we'll switch over to Sultai Cats for a little bit. Definitely got to remember that combo. Ooh, we got the bug. We got switched back to bot match for some reason. So exciting. Yeah, Gem Razor makes that matchup feel pretty okay. I wonder if Gem Razor is just supposed to be the card I played in Temur Clover. Just mutate my Fae of Wishes. No, I'm not supposed to do that. Nope. Okay. Jim Carroll, you been gem raising all day? Have you been missing lethal with ram through all day? What have you been doing all day? Alright, is this turn 1 Stone Coil? It is not. Pretty sure it's not. Going on Reclamation over there. Some other... Okay, well, Gruul Sleeves plays Temple of Abandon. Could just be Gruul. Gruul Embercleave. We will see. Bottle Brush if only. If this were Innistrad, we'd be able to mutate the Innkeeper. Marauding Raptor. Alright, so... I don't really know what's going on. I'm just going to play this and get my thing out of stomp range. And also out of range of ever being killed by the opponent's creatures, quite possibly. Good luck, Gruul. Good luck. Paint Freak, the stream died? Anybody seeing the stream be dead? Gruul Fires. Oh, Gruul Fires without Kahira. That's a rare sight. Alright, well, our opponent's going to get absolutely just destroyed by Giant Growth here, so let's do that. You hate to see it. Yep, Patrick, we showed great skill. Thanks, chat, for the extra data. Ah, alright. They are not playing Kahiros, they can play Pelt Collector. I don't like that trade-off much, but they might also just be standard Gruul and not doing fires things at all. No worries, Paint Freak, no worries. Thankfully, I've got lots of other people here who can help me sort out what's going on at any given point. Yeah, Questing Beast is just gonna take this one right home. Okay, that was good. That was good. So I'm assuming they're like a Bone Crusher giant deck. Does that mean Surf Aaron comes out again? Titanic Growth actually seems great. Like winning big creature on big creature combats, I love. I think we're ditching Surf Aaron and bringing in the Ram Throughs, and that is all. Outdoor Grain! At it again! Good. Outdoor Grain, are you a Saudi prince? You don't actually have to answer that question. I'm asking questions about your personal life here, I know, but thank you so much for the gift subs. Also interesting, it looks like our gift sub message is a resubscribe message is being triggered instead of the normal subscribe message. Huh. That's something to work out later. Once again, I'm going to say no to that.
Tonight, that's the goal.
Magic TV 22, thanks for the follow. I think this is a yes. I don't want to go to 5 here. We're going to try and rip some lands and get lucky. Questing Beast is gone. Colorman, that makes sense. It just seemed unlikely given how many of those messages there were, plus how many viewers we have now. But quite plausible. 22 lands, it's weird. It feels like you shouldn't be getting as many one-landers I feel like you get, but it's just like, it makes such a big difference. This deck honestly feels like it could easily support like 23. Like if you curve out, it doesn't really, you only need a few cards to actually beat your opponent if you curve out. We're about one mislander up from scooping here. I am a pretty early conceder, is something to know about me if you haven't watched the stream much. I prefer to scoop games that are almost completely likely to be lost, rather than fighting them out unless we're in a tournament or something, just so I can give the stream more entertaining hours of Magic and fewer hours of dead time. Yeah, Zvi had 21. I added a land. My usual rule is like add a land. But the pro rule is supposedly add 2 lands, but I was expecting Zvi wouldn't be that greedy. I think Zvi's been a bit greedy. Alright, we're going to scoop this one and move to game 3. Let's try again. Well, thank you, Outdoor Gain. I really do appreciate it. You make streaming a lot more exciting. Interesting. Op seems to be switching up their sideboard plan for game 3. Don't know if that's a play draw thing, or maybe they saw Gingerbrute and they decided to bring in some artifact removal. But this is great because it gives me a chance to take a bite of my watermelon, which has been sitting here tempting me for hours. Honestly, chat. No idea how I held out. Look how good this is. Look how incredible this watermelon looks. Jim Carroll, I like how you misspelled that as monogreed. Funny how monogreen and monogreed are almost the opposites. Zvi didn't like Yorva very much because it doesn't have trample. I think having trample is a big deal for this deck. It doesn't have trample, doesn't help you do the turn 1 token thing that Lovestruck Beast does. As always, it's time to collect some pelts. Bottle Brush is incredible, though. It's unfriggin' believable how good Watermelon is. Okay. So Ram Through is going to kill whatever their 3-drop is, which is good to know. So even if they go like Stomp into Bone Crusher, Stomp into Gruul Spellbreaker, hard to find things I care about that much. Marauding Raptor, speaking of things I don't care about that much, that's one of them. They have admittedly shut down the Gingerbrute segment of my offense. Okay, Ceratops is a good-sized critter. But now I get to do this, which seems great. And good to know that Gingerbrute can help us do some evasive damage to finish them off later. Sometimes it does feel good just to take a break from all the nonsense and just curve out on some people. Okay, worst comes to worst, hit Gem Razor here. Huh. So I could just cast this, pump this to a 4/4, swing with these 2. Could also go like Pelt Collector into like mutate Gem Razor onto Gingerbrute or something like that. Swing with Gingerbrute Lovestruck. That lets me get Pelt Collector down this turn. I'm basically trading off. No, I kind of want to keep Gingerbread around. I could mutate Gemrazor into Pelt Collector. That doesn't really do much since it's... I guess it's a 6/6 at that point, but the opponent can just double block it. Wait, what if I mutate Gemrazor into Pelt Collector, attack all? What do they do then? That actually is great. They can't afford double block Gemrazor. They can block... Wow, actually this pretty much just cleans them up, huh? Yeah, alright, mutate this into Pelt Collector. And just clap them. Just no good blocks today. Should have Pelt Collected first, of course, because I forgot about the Death Trigger. Definitely do not play this card very much, but I don't think it's going to matter. Red Zone! Alright, Zvi Stompy confirmed. Good best of 3 deck. Cool. Might play this one the latter a bit more. It feels pretty darn smooth when it works. Haven't gotten to attack with Surf Aaron yet, though. Surf Aaron feels like a little fragile. Okay, well, as promised, we're going to go back to Sultai Cat. I'm going to take one more stab at making that deck actually function on Cardboard Live. Going to do some formatting trickery, see if that works out. Oh wait, there's cheap Ikoria packs in the store today. Should I get one of those? I have a complete set at this point. Is it worth 750 gold to get a 6th of a wild card? Ooh! Oh my goodness, hello. Hello, Comic Styles. Dang. Alright, you're overrated. You I can't play in anything yet. Let's just get Nethroi. This is so sick. Alright, Nethroi. And we're not going to get that back. Back to business. Alright, so we're just going to try putting that into a text editor, chopping the companion off. What was that? Ah. Cardboard automatically uploads the decks I play, Kevlar Man, like from Arena? How does that work? Can it, like, read Arena? Puzzled by this. Whoa! My goodness. Okay. Well, forget about it. I guess we don't... I mean, people are still going to ask for the list. And are they going to be able to hit it by hitting exclamation point deck?
Because it sets the current. It changes it to the...
Alright, well, Cardboard Live is still having a hard time with this formatting, so I'm going to pass on doing that for now. We'll just play and hope that works the way you say it works. Going to go to standard rank with this one. We're going to just... I haven't adjusted the main deck yet for best of 1. We're going to see how this goes. Might end up putting some more anti-aggro cards in the main deck if I'm going to play this one in the Arena Open. For those of you who haven't seen the deck, it's just a normal food deck that has a combo kill with Bullets to Citadel. Instead of running the usual Jund cards, you get Yorion as your companion and play some Uros as well. Arena crashed, and we're going to reopen Arena. Hopefully come back to a beautiful opening hand. Benny Dubs, I never got the email from them, even though I'm a pro member, so I guess I'm not. I don't know that I would have had time to do it anyway, but it is probably something I should ask them about. Thanks for reminding me. But to any of you who are going to play in that, good luck, and thanks for supporting Channel Fireball. They make lots of great content. Glad to see them finding ways to monetize. Alright, great. Gonna keep it. Didn't look that closely. The hand is okay. All the failed passages are pretty bad. Feels like I always get 2 of these in my opening hand. I don't mind 1. But whenever I have failed passages in my deck, I always just want to play more temples, but they're obviously great in this deck because they synergize super well with Pulse of Citadel. Thanks for the reference, Kevlar Man. Fetch a blue out there because I have more untapped green sources than untapped blue sources in this deck. So it's a little bit easier to hit Uro on curve. By grabbing blue, there's a Goth Triome. Alright, so we've got... I'm actually just going to jam up Triome plus Oven here. I really want to hit Uro next turn, and it'll be nice to be able to get some food off of him when we do that. Wax and Lyrical, I should swap up the title. Oh boy, it's Temur Clover. Alright, I do not know how to feel about this. Do not know how to feel about this. Probably iffy. It feels like they can bounce Bolas' Citadel. But they might not have artifact removal in their sideboard, which would be great. Alright, stream title adjusted. Stream title always lies, yes. Yes, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to do this correctly. I almost never do this right, because I'm not used to playing this kind of deck. We're going to play Uro. Full control is on. And, alright, successfully sacrificed an Uro. Great. Ooh, Priest of Forgotten Gods. That would have been exciting on turn 2. Is not as exciting anymore. Really want to hit a land next turn, so we're not going to crack this passage yet. Cardboard Live is down? That's a surprise. Ooh, okay. Let's get that classic Clover start we all know and love. Good tip, Halgran. Thanks. I really don't know the ins and outs of playing this kind of synergy stuff yet. Alright, well, as my opponent figures out what they're doing with the turn, can I get some more watermelon? Another Clover. Alright, well. At this point, I'm just eating the watermelon to soothe my sorrows. I don't think this is going to go super well for us. Ooh, alright. Citadel is definitely one we needed, but we're not at all in a good position to get it down, unfortunately. If I had a 5th land, I could go Priest into Woe Strider, and then if Priest remained alive for a turn, however unlikely that might be, we'd be able to play Citadel. As it is, I just have to think, what's the play that gets me to Citadel the fastest? Probably... That's a tough one. Probably just Triton Trail here. I could go Priest Triton. Priest Triton leaves us super vulnerable to just getting stomped to death, though. I'm going to go Triton Trail this turn. I want to get Trail down so I can actually hit some land drops the next couple turns, if we live that long.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Okay, so if they've got an Escape to the Wilds, this is going to be nearly impossible. If they're just doing, like, Brazen Borrower or something, that's fine. We can handle Brazen Borrower. Yep, sure. Don't really feel a great need to sack the Triton here. Yeah, this is great. This is our opponent not developing tons of pressure in the sense of fling. We can hold off against, like, Adventure Beats for a long time. But just really not looking to get flung out anytime soon. Alright. Oof. Alright, missing land drops again is not my favorite. Shoot. I think this is just going to be Priest and hope they don't have the Bone Crusher Giant. Because I need to get some velocity going. Hey, unpronounceable name, thanks for following. I do think Temur Clover is a pretty poor matchup for this deck, and I do expect that deck to be pretty popular in Best of 1. Which is, altogether a tough spot to be in. If we don't get stomped, we got a chance. If we don't get stomped or borrowed, I suppose. Borrowed would also be horrible. Yep. Yeah, do I just scoop here? I don't think I scoop yet. I could still hit, like, running lands and just kill my opponent with Citadel. But this is definitely a feel bad. I could also just, like, jam Uro next turn. Uro could slow them down for a bit. Maybe. Ooh, no, chat, they took my tech. They played off one mind, chat. They drew 2 cards for 1 mana. Emery is not helping me here. Goodness gracious. All right. Well, maybe this finds us a cat at least? Nope, 4 lands, chat. It found 4 lands and put them right in the graveyard, chat. Everything is terrible all the time. We're not getting out of this one, I don't think. To be fair, yeah, okay. I'm gonna scoop here. I assume our opponent is gonna play this competently and put us in a position where we can never ever win with Fae of Wishes. We died. Yep, Patricide. Patricide, Jim. You are correct. Woof! Okay. Well, yeah, Debo 4, I am curious about that. Let's try that again. Honestly, despite everything, if we had just hit like land drops on turns 5 and 6, we might have been fine. We might very well have been fine. Deck's currently on 36 lands, but I've been tempted to run more, much more often than less, so don't know. Top 5 food easily. Watermelon is easily a top 5 food. Ooh, Japan sleeves. Love it. Rival Yorion deck, okay. The matchup against Jeskai Luka is really interesting. You can kind of go along with them. Huh. Cat Bastion Trail. This feels like a classic hand where, like, the pieces aren't all there, but most of the things we draw sort of can get the pieces together. This is the 4th time I've told Tamwam that I like watermelon, chat. Just for full info here. Alright, Temple, we're going to look for geese, ovens, not triomes. Citadel is welcome at any point. Alright, Jeskai Luka. In we go. Alright, let's just keep scrying toward things that are relevant in this matchup. Simrit Calls the Dead. No, not relevant enough. Yeah, I think our matchup against Jeskai Luka improves post board, which makes me pretty inclined to not want to play this in best of 1 as much. Goose is good. Goose is good. Do I get in with the cat? Given that I have Trail of Crumbs, I don't mind just trading with a token. So yeah, I'll get in with the cat. They can omen it if they want to. Sure, have fun with that. And we're just looking for Citadel. We're looking for Citadel, hoping they don't have the fast Luka on us. Okay, lands are fine. Let's grab the Grave. I definitely played some like 20 turn matches, or maybe 15 turn type matches against Jeskai Luka, where if they got slow agents often were enough to break up the value once I got Trail going. Turn 5 agent pretty much murders us without any recourse, though. Alright, so what is this going to be? Is this going to be like Goose, Emery? Let's attack with the cat first. See how they do that. Not a surprise. I guess I could also just go like tapped Triome into Bastion. Oh, this feels bad. having ducks with no interaction and not a fast clock does feel pretty bad against Jeskai Luka. Who knew? Who knew that would be such a hard thing to be doing? Alright, well, we'll Goose. And do I Emery 2? Yeah, I'll Emery. Would love to hit a Citadel off of this. Hit a Strider and an Uro. Okay, that's pretty good, all told. Slightly punished for not getting the Triome down earlier. Could have had Uro down next turn. Jim Carroll, if they play Luca next turn and steal anything that is a land, I will probably scoop to that. If the opponent is silly enough to do something like steal Trail of Crumbs, I might keep playing. Woo! Okay. Okay. That's something. That is evidence that we're not going to get, like, double agented this turn. Maybe. Still could get double agented this turn. Alright, I'm here for this. I'm here for this. So even if the opponent gets tons of value with like Yorion, Blink, both Omens of the Sun or something, we don't really care. This deck's whole thing is just like, can we get Bolas' Citadel down and win the game with Bolas' Citadel? It's the only thing we are concerned with. Start by sacking some food. If I can bring back Uro, I can't bring back Uro this turn, but... Second Familiar, third Bastion, huh? Yeah, I guess third Bastion is like more likely to be helpful long run than second Familiar is, even if I can't play it this turn. And no Luca, so we're just going to hold. Opponent could go for an ECD here. This deck does have plenty of good ECD targets, which is unfortunate. Alright, opponent's going to try and kill us with Sharks. And, okay, given that that was their follow-up, killing us with Sharks might very well just work. Could really use a Citadel right now. Nope. Okay. Well, I can play 2 more Bastions. It's not the end of the world. Could also just go for Yorion this turn. Yorion's a good amount of value. Not, like, outstanding, but good. I kind of like the idea of double Bastion just so the opponent doesn't necessarily know to kill Emery when they blink. Yeah, let's go double Bastion, get a bit more value off of Yorion than we would otherwise. Still not quite able to cast Uro. Outdoor Grade! Again! Am I like extra entertained tonight or something? What's going on, my friend? 10 gift subs. This is officially the I think the best night we've ever had on the stream, frankly. I'm a little shook. A little shook. Alright, yeah, Turgain, I'm happy to give you like the full service, as much analysis as possible. I'll even run some test matches for you, honestly. At this point, you more than deserve it. So anything you ask for, well, not anything, of course, but many of the things you ask for, you are likely to receive. Shame27, thanks for the follow. Bottlebrush, he might very well like your song. For all of you who don't know, Bottlebrush is the composer who gave us the song that plays for the sub music. We like chopped it up and sped it up a little bit. We played around with it to make it fit the flow of things, but we were super happy to have it. It's a very adventurous theme. Okay, so this deck plays 4 copies of Bolas' Citadel, but if it doesn't find one, it does tend to struggle a lot. I did try putting together a 60-card version that doesn't do Yorion, and is just a regular 60-card Citadel deck.
That's the goal.
And that, frankly, might be pretty good. Alright, opponent's about to start agenting me. That's not great. Do I just scoop from here? Citadel costs 8 mana next turn, and we're going to get our lands stolen a couple times. I guess they might not steal our lands. Let's see if they steal something that's not lands. Alright, I'll take it. Still have outs to maybe live long enough to cast a Citadel, although we are getting attacked by 13 power worth of Sharks. So it's iffy. It's iffy, chat. I think this is the Yorion turn. This deck is capable of just straight combo killing people. Sometimes. No, not the tokens. Not the tokens. Could have been better to blink the trail and not blink the goose. Hey, good night, Outdoor Grain. Thank you for everything tonight. Mill a Citadel. All right, chat. All right, chat, we milled a Citadel and 2 ovens. So our opponent is going to blink everything next turn. Presumably, well, there are many ways we could just die next turn. Like, 14 is not... I guess we probably can't die, right? They've got the 3 sharks, it's 13 power. We're at 14. If they just put us to 1, the Bolus is Citadel in our graveyard, it's not going to do much. Actually, they're going to blink 2 agents. There's no way we ever win this, right? They're never going to let us resolve Citadel. They're going to take Emery from us. They take Yorion, okay. Well, let's wait. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this looks very pathetic, right? If you don't have Citadel against this deck, you really can't interact with them very effectively. So if they ever find Luca, you just kind of get dunked. All right, well, Goose blocks. I think we need a little bit of a life cushion, just in case we do rip the second Citadel. Maybe our opponent forgets we have Citadel in the graveyard and ignores it. I wouldn't mind that either. The Citadel is lethal on the spot. You... Not sure. I don't think we have quite enough creatures for that. Honestly, the opponent playing Tef and just bouncing our Yorion or Goose might have been lethal on the spot too. All right, everything goes away. We're going to lose everything. Let's see what the opponent steals. So that if we have a Citadel on top, they can't stop us from casting it. So that's nice. They can just bounce Emery. Oh, actually, they can bounce Emery with Tef. ECD is going to hit Emery, I assume. Yeah, we're super dead. I'm not going to go through this. Okay. Not worth the minute to try and keep playing that out. Huh. That matchup. Pre-board. Post-board, you get Citadel of War, or Casualties of War, sorry. Casualties of War, which helps a lot. I don't know about pre-board. Let's run another match, though. Yep, GG's to you before. GG's. Okay, more watermelon when we have the chance. Okay, well, this is the kind of hand you also get with this deck sometimes, where it's just like all your expensive clunkers and a Bolus' Citadel to top it off. Frankly, I almost want to keep it just because Double Bastion feels like it should hold off Umori pretty well. And Trail of Crumbs can sort of go get a land if I find a third land. If I find a third land, this hand's actually pretty good. If I don't, it's miserable. Let's not. Alright, this is pretty solid. What do I throw back here? Temple or Emery? Let's go Temple. I like that Emery plus Mire Triton gives us lots of outs to find stuff. Bastion of Remembrance. I think not yet. Not yet. They will definitely have Gemraid's junk account. We'll just have to fight it out, regardless. This is actually the kind of matchup where having Yori in the deck pays off. Obviously, it's not as good against something like Jeskai Luca. But these long, grindy value games, it actually does help. So, question is, do we do Emery this turn or Woe Strider? I think it's Woe Strider. Emery can be cheaper in later turns if we get any of our artifacts. We have a few of those. Yeah, Junk Cow, that's a very good. That's very true. of like their draw is slightly aggressive here. Oh, Thrashing Bronodon. All right, well, I don't know what's going on. That's going to make it hard to win in Bolus Citadel. Yeah, this Sultai Cat deck is fun, but it's also full of vulnerabilities. Like, hitting this thing's kind of a nightmare. I will note that we are playing some number of Emery over some number of Priest and Temur Calls the Dead, and Priest would be pretty good here. Priest of the Forgotten Gods would be excellent in this matchup. We're down to 3 from 4 in the original list. Yeah, the best one version of this deck should set 4 Priest in it, for sure. Oh, okay. So this is just like a weird build of Winota. I see you, opponent. I see you. Well, probably can't beat Winota here either, huh? Yeah, the deck's combo kill is not that fast. Alright, Charming Prince I can tolerate. That one's okay. Really? I am interested to see the opponent going for a Scry here. I would have thought they would try to blink Thrashing Bronson on to bring it back and attack with it next turn. But fine by me. Definitely think the play there is just blink Brontodon. Yeah, Bottle Brush. I think the idea is supposed to be a combo deck that lets play a really good value game because of Yorion, but I think everyone's pretty much used to Yorion letting you play Yorion value games, and no one is impressed with that anymore. Do I scry? I don't really have answers to Winota. But my current hand is not very impressive, so I think I will go for a scry here. Uro. How is that one? It's like okay. It's not great. It's not really ramping me, and escaping it's going to be a little slow, I think, for how this game's going. Let's just see if we can find a Citadel. Okay, got an Uro in the graveyard, got a Sill in the graveyard. Alright, so if they don't hit Agent of Treachery off their one hit next turn, we can cast Citadel, and then try to win from there. Chili Drop. In this deck, Dry to the Elysian Grove? No, not really. Okay, so I assume they steal Emery here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a land, would be very surprised to see something that was not Emery or a land. Okay, Emery's down. Would love to rip a Citadel here. I feel like we just have to block the Paradise Druid. Of course, the opponent's probably got plenty more non-creatures in their deck where that came from, and they also just stole one of ours, so we're probably just dying. Yeah, every time... So Trail means I can play Trail. I can play Uro out the yard this turn, and then if I hit a land off that, I can play Trail, get Cat back off Trail. One gets to attack with 2 non-humans next turn. We'll fight it out one more turn. They could get pretty unlucky off the Winota, but since we can't kill it, we're pretty much relying on them to get unlucky, which is not a place I like being. Oh yeah, right, could have sacked it. Sorry. I was already sort of in a like losing this game mindset, which is not a healthy place to be. Should definitely have sacked the Emery and not given it to them. That's going to make it much, much harder to win. Woof! Opponent should not have taken Emery at by the same tack, I think. They should have just taken a land. But we followed up their mistake with our mistake, which is bad. Very bad. So, no more stealing our creatures, opponent. No more stealing our creatures. We will sack Uro if that gets taken. Yeah, I'm kind of with Croakies, I think, on Winota just being a horrible design now. Having played with it a lot and against it a lot. It's just like... Why? Why do we do that? Alright, can I get a Citadel off this? Let's see if I can find that Citadel. I also have a chance to get one off of the cat. Scry first. Anything that's not a Citadel goes to the bottom. Going to 9, which is not the safest place to be, but you can still kind of win with Citadel from there. Incubation Druid. That's quite a decision. So opponent's playing what looks like not as much focusing on Grazers and Geese version of this deck. Takes Woe Strider. Taking Woe Strider smart, it actually makes Bolus' Citadel kind of turbocharged. Alright, I'm gonna grab, I guess, the land here. It's too late for Uro to do much of anything. Should I sack the cat to scry? Yes, I should. Nope. Alright, one turn to find Citadel or we die. The usual story. And did not find it. Okay. Yeah, I think Winoda's okay with that agent. The question is maybe getting rid of agent's fine. I think the like roulette nature of Winota is a bit obnoxious too. It feels like Collected Company was enough Collected Company. We didn't need a card that collected companies whenever you attack with a creature. Alright, what do we even want Yorion in this deck? Do I just play the 60 card version? Let me play the 60 card version for a bit. The fact that Cardboard Live apparently picks this up automatically is great. Where did I put the 60 card version?
Rename the deck.
Let's see, so the experimental version of this is... Honestly, I don't know if we need to be like Sultai here. It's probably better just to be Jund if you're not playing... if you're not playing Yorion, it's almost certainly better just to be Jund and have Mayhem Devil. At which point we're sort of just playing a Jund Cat deck, which doesn't appeal to me very much. So, change of heart, change of plans. Let's go back to Temur Clover. Yeah, until that could be a... I mean, it would have to be a cheaper card. It would be terrible at 7 mana with that provision, but I think that would make it a better card to have in Standard right now at a different mana cost. Alright, well, we're back on this great deck, and we got a great hand to reward us for being faithful. And we're up against a great opponent, so everything all around is great. Yeah, Chili Drop, that doesn't surprise me. Mayhem Devil seems like a really nice thing to have access to. I should probably learn to play that deck. Changes to Clover for best of 1 are super minimal, just slight alterations in the sideboard to accommodate for the slightly higher number of aggro decks I expect to see. A deck I haven't seen in like a million years is Cycling. Does anybody know what happened to that deck? Do people still play it in places sometimes? Like, I've seen Tammy play against it once, but I think I've lined to like 0 Cycling in my last like 40 or so matches of Constructed. Alright. We're changing the stream title back, because as always it becomes inaccurate the moment we do anything. Temur Clover in High Mythic. Update. Okay. When you say Luca Adventures Bottle Brush, do you just mean playing Luca and Clover like as a 1 or 2 of, or is it like shaped very differently? Okay, so we'll peel Mountain, and I guess just another Mountain. Actually, let's get it. So always question about whether you pull the second Mountain in the deck. It's a little awkward because it means in the future if you Beanstalk Giant, you can never hit red mana off of it, which can influence a lot how you are able to tap your mana for the rest of the turn. So we're going to leave the second Mountain in there to spell out the forest. This also lets me cast Edgewilling Keeper, which means that Tef can't come down and bounce Clover for free, which I like. Well, they have a wall, so I guess he can, but we at least get to have an Edgewilling Keeper in play, which makes our opponent nervous. Curious to see whether this is like Esper going to be Azorius Yorion or Jeskai Luca Yorion. Either way, I expect us to have an excellent matchup. But just curious nonetheless. Hello, Hermesito. Good to see ya. Okay, so I'm going to make no assumptions about what this is yet, as far as being Jeskai versus not Jeskai. I'm just going to grab, let's say, Escape the Wilds and probably just Negate here. Negate stops Luca if this is Luca, and protects Escape the Wilds if it isn't. Doesn't get through Dovin's veto, of course, but means that a lot of their plans that they might have been setting up, if they are Azorius, are going to flop. Yeah, Glaze 4, it's a big part of that. It's definitely a very strong 2-drop for them. Wow, you cut Beanstalk, Bottle Brush. That's quite a thing. But yeah, I mean, I could see combining those two engines being reasonably effective. I don't know about playing all the Clovers without the Beanstalks, but with Fae of Wishes available, I suppose so. Fires I don't like very much. Fires seems like not a great card for Clover. Alright, so opponent could be holding up Dovin's veto. There is no indication that they are not the Luca deck. There's no indication that they are the Luca deck. They don't have red mana for it right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw millions of cards instead. If they shatter here, they're just tapping out into getting jammed into a box by all the Innkeepers. Let's just double stomp this wall and then just cast Bone Crusher Giant when that's all said and done. Yeah, I think it makes more sense once you dump the ramp. You still have a bunch of cheap spells, it's true, but it makes more sense. Guitar Playing Ginger. No, Merc of a Secret Keeper doesn't really do anything in the deck. Even for comedy, it's in a world where everybody plays 80-card decks. It's not that going to be that effective. However, you do sometimes get Merfolk Secret Keeper kills with Blue-Green Clover. That's the old variant on this deck. I haven't seen anybody play it since Ikoria, but it just runs Merfolk Secret Keeper and Uro. And oh, it looks like this is Jeskai. Okay. Well, guess we're resolving this Escape the Wilds then. Cool. Every Fae of Wishes. Also cool. Shouldn't have played that land out first. Uncool. So I think I want to hold up Negate this turn. I guess I don't really care about Luca at all, right? Like, I care zero about Luca. I can just, like, ignore Luca and pretend Luca doesn't exist. Bone Crusher looks great. Let's just, I'll make 4 tokens hold up Negate. 4 tokens actually a pretty darn good attacking force. You flash the fires a lot. What do you mean by that, Battle Brush? Are you playing Yorion in this deck too? Is it like an 80-card deck? Glaze 4, the idea is that you're exiling the 3-mana creatures. Well, that sounds interesting, Battle Brush. Maybe I'll give it a try. You want to send me the list? Whisper on Twitch? Okay. Double red mana. It is funny, early on this season I played against a bunch of Jeskai Luca on stream, drew terribly, and managed to lose like 3 Jeskai Luca matches in a row. And everyone thought I was crazy for talking about how good the Clover matchup was. It's nice that we're past that point now. Yeah, so what do you mean by flashing the fires? I see. Okay, so we've got access to 13 mana. We can't literally kill them this turn, but We can set up for a near guaranteed kill next turn and draw a bunch of counter spells at the same time, so I think we're going to do that. Ooh, opponent preserving Eorian. I see you, opponent. Let's just Fae of Wishes, grab Disdainful Stroke, and fling. Don't really need to play out a bunch of creatures here. We'll just escape the wilds, get more lands into play, hold up double counterspell. And I do believe that's going to be all she wrote. Can play one Lovestruck Beast out. We don't really need to hold two counters because there's only we are not going to need to counter two spells this coming turn. Yeah, this may be the easiest match I've ever played against Jessica Luca. Oh, the hand was just completely nuts. The hand just went off. We're just going to negate that. I don't care if they Shadow the Sky. We've got them next turn with Beanstalk, Fling, Double Stomp. We still have them next turn with Beanstalk, Fling, Double Stomp. The best deck in Theros for Gemini. You mean the best deck in Theros Standard? I would give it to a close toss-up between Sultai and Bant Yorion. Yeah, toss-up between Sultai and Bant Yorion. Reclamation and Temur Clover following close behind. But that's a quick take, for sure. Guitar playing Ginger. I mean, when you say shift the meta, I mean, we're kind of halfway through the meta, right? We sort of have seen most of the decks that people are going to play. And definitely Ikoria cards are very heavily played in almost all the serious decks. Cycling is what many people consider the second best deck. Shark Typhoon is played as a 4 of in quite a lot of decks. Mutate synergies are a huge part of a bunch of tier 2 decks, all of that. Richard Dwell's next in the one house. The one house in the main deck are just because I'm indecisive. I'm starting to think that Adventurous Impulse is a bit better than Of One Mind, but I'm just playing one of each because I like them both and I couldn't decide. In Temur Clover, as long as you're playing something reasonable in the flex slots, it almost never matters what that actually is. Like, just play some card like Growth Spiral or Adventurous Impulse or Of One Mind. It just makes the deck smaller, and you'll be fine. Hey there, Red Noisy Squirrel. Incubation Congruity can't hit lands, Richard, which is a big problem. This deck only plays 24 creatures, so it is going to whiff sometimes on Incubation Congruity, and that's really bad when it happens. Yeah, this hand is quite medium, but it's got the colors. It's got the prospective card advantage via Fae of Wishes. It's got early answers to aggro. So enough stuff going on that I'm reasonably happy to keep it. Do not want to be hitting lands right now. We're really looking for Clovers, Innkeepers, and Escapes. Yeah, some kind of Jund deck might have also been tier 2. I still think that Jund Citadel probably doesn't beat the deck that could cast Casualties of War very early with regularity. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Do I borrow this or do I stomp it? I'm going to borrow it. If I have Clover at some point, I'd rather a double stomp than double borrow. And let's... Do I actually want to play Borrower out sometime here? Borrower seems like it's not going to make a huge difference, but it might matter a little bit to have that one down. How likely is it that I'm going to Fae of Wishes next turn and just grab Storm's Wrath, though. It's not unlikely, huh? Let's just not play that stuff out yet. So a big goal here is just to keep our life total sufficiently high to survive and try to eventually get the value engines going, which is Oven I don't care about very much. Now we're going to stomp the Celebrant, I think, because what I want to get with Fae of Wishes at this point is just going to be Grafdigger's Cage, which shuts off Luris, shuts off Cat Oven, just generally makes things more difficult for the opponent. Card that scares me a little bit at this point is Fiend Artisan. Fiend Artisan get pretty big in this deck, but Grafdigger's Cage shuts that off as well. With Cage out, our cards are much, much better than our opponent's cards. The main thing that could threaten us at that point is like Priest of Forgotten Gods. Or I guess Manic Artifact removal if our opponent happens to have that. I'd be surprised, but maybe. As tech against like Temur or something. Alright, Cool Celebrant's pretty good too. That's gonna pressure the old life total a bit. Revival. Oh wow, okay. That's pretty good. They certainly did get around the cage well. And we are honestly in a bit of a pickle just because we've drawn mostly lands this game. We really need like some kind of card advantage tool by now. There is time. There is time, but double Celebrant means we're uncomfortable, I would say. Every card they draw is worth at least 2 damage to us. We only have 16 life to play around with. We can get Shadow Spear at some point, but it's going to take a little while to get that going. Yeah, Glaze 4, I sort of don't think Kenrith Fires was even close, just because Casualties of War just blew it out so hard. I think that Bant and Sultai both had great matchups against it, and those feel like they were the most important decks. Ouch! Alright, Dire Tactics is not so bad, I guess. We take, like, a few extra points of damage. We have plenty of blockers, just need to not get killed before they become relevant here. Alright, so I think this is going to have to be Fae plus Fae for Storm's Wrath. We then drop to... That actually just kills us, though. We literally can't do that. Because if we play Fae as a blocker, next turn they attack us, we go up to 10. If we Storm's Wrath, we just take 80 million damage off all their creatures. Do I have to just wish for Escape here? Oh, I can wish for Plane Wide. Plane Wide holds them back. Alright, that's the plan then. Fae of Wishes, then we wish for Plane Wide Celebration, and just pray to draw Escape the Wilds. We are flooding. Yes, Richard Thrillis Nixon, that's pretty much my favorite thing to do. Lots of decisions. Love decisions. And the play's gotta just be Plane Wide, I think. Don't see how we survive otherwise. Raskolnikov, someone just asked that. Yes, the option to get a land is much better than digging 2 cards further. Darn it! Oh, man. Opponent's got triple Celebrant. I can't have one lousy Clover, huh? That's gonna make it almost... I think that does make it impossible to win. I don't see how we're ever escaping the triple Celebrant loop. Not loop, but just the amount of damage these things can pump out. Alright, we're scooping this one. We couldn't, darn it! Their draw wasn't even that great besides the triple Celebrant. If I had, like, one lousy Clover, chat, we could have beaten him pretty hard. But that's alright, we can just jump right back into the queue. The best of ones, at least, the feel bads are temporary. And we have Watermelon still. Wow. Opponent's on Karuga the Macro Sage. Haven't seen this one for a while. I'm going to be curious to see whether this is Karuga Flash or Karuga Fires. Would, I think, rather see Flash out of them here than I would Fires. Do I do this or do I wait and double token later? I'll do this now. I think my play pattern is going to be next turn Clover, third turn Beanstalk, hold up double Borrower. Probably bounce two things, especially if it turns out they are Karuga Fires. Let's attack, see if we can get a Borrower bounce out of them. I expect there's a good chance they're holding up a Borrower right now. Nice, no Borrower. And definitely looking like Karuga Reclamation. Alright, gonna be interesting. I think this deck definitely still plays the 4 copies of Expansion Explosion, which is sad. Do I Clover? No, we're gonna Beanstalk. And just cast the other Clover after that, I believe. Oh, I think like this version of Karuga of Reclamation is not particularly stronger than other versions of Reclamation, so I'm kind of fine with it. I do think Reclamation should be banned. I think this card is a little more obnoxious than any card really has the right to be. All right, so I guess we're just doomed to run into counter spells until the end of time. Let's attack and see if we can bait out a flash blocker from them. Seems like the answer is no, so yep, nothing for it but run into Frilled Mystics once in a while. We gotta get rid of their counters somehow. Ionize. That is fine. Okay. Our odds of winning this game are pretty low. I think that our deck is probably weak to this, pretty much in the same way we're weak to any kind of Reclamation deck. We just really struggle to stop them from killing us before we can accomplish anything. Ooh, okay. But playing a second Reclamation is really good news for us. That actually gives me a chance to resolve Escape the Wilds, which I love. Goodbye. See if they've got a Mystical Dispute for me here. Looks like they might not. Wow! Okay. Opponent was far from dead there, but I'll take it. I will certainly take it. He does seem like a nice hippo, Bottle Brush. I think Wilderness Reclamation's a meanie, but I do think Karuga is a nice hippo. Beefeater. I believe the card is... Did Seedborn Muse do it? Seedborn Muse untapped all lands? It was like a 5-mana 2/3. And this was a long time ago before cards were powerful enough to be like Explosion. What a scoop. We definitely take those. Alright. Alright. This watermelon's just hitting so hard. Yeah. This is a perfect example of hands where I love Temple of Mystery over, like, having Triumphs. You know, some off of Triumphs entirely now. Like, I just, this one's close, right? But I think pretty much any hand with Clover Beanstalk, as long as you have some access to card selection, even if it's as minor as just being able to scry something to the bottom, like, is good enough. Especially on the play. If this were like the draw against Obosh, I might not have done it. Wow, alright. We got ourselves traditional mono red here, folks. Traditional mono red. So we might not be Beanstalking on turn 3. There's a chance I just want to, like, Impulse, try to hit, like, a double stomp. Good point, Incarcerated. Alright, opponent's still doing, like, the Obosh-style Grim Initiate plays. Doesn't seem as strong in this position. I am just gonna ramp here. Wondering if our opponent forgot to put Obosh in their deck. So ramping thins the deck a bit, then we get to Adventurous Impulse. So, like, Fae of Wishes is great here. I can Fae of Wishes for Blazing Volley. Edgewelling Keeper is the worst possible creature for us to hit, I think. But still, we take those. I mean, we take them because we have no choice. We are probably in a lot of trouble now, unless I draw Bone Crusher, Lovestruck Beast, or Fae of Wishes. But that is a lot of cards. Yep, Anax, don't like that. Would love a Fae of Wishes right now. Alright, well, we did make the choice to keep this hand. We are going to die to Embercleave now. Raskolnikov, I haven't really cast Impulse sometimes. No, okay, it's Gruul? It's Gruul. Well, we're still dead, but that's informative. Well, you can't, but they don't have Obosh in their deck, so we do have to believe in the cleave for now. Also, there is no game 2. Well, we kept that hand, and we did scry into a spell, and it didn't work because we never drew another spell again, chat. But I still believe that that was the correct keep. Stuff happens, is the lesson there. Alright, so we're going to block. We can still be in this with Fae of Wishes. We can Fae of Wishes to grab Mystic Repeal plus Blazing Volley. That doesn't do it, unfortunately. We can play Beanstalk Giant, they just fight it with Anax, and yeah, we're out. Out of this one, I think. Well, no, we can still play Beanstalk Giant. If they fight it with Anax, we can still draw Fae into Blazing Volley. As long as there's like a 4 of in my deck that keeps me alive, I kind of feel honor bound to give it a shot. Alright, well, that puts me to 1. Not expressly dead. I guess I'm dead post-volley. No, they make a 2-2, a single 2-2 off the 2 initiates, so that's fine. This is fine. On the plus side, it's pretty... Oh, okay. That was cute. That was cute, opponent. On the plus side, maybe we'll draw a spell next game. Temple was a hero, though. Temple gave us a spell. We just failed the Temple and did not find any more spells for the rest of the game.
That's the goal.
Thanks for the follow. It is possible that this deck could go down to 26 lands in best of 1 because of the hand smoothing algorithm. This deck loves hitting later land drops, so it's not as sure a thing as it is for some other decks, but it's probably something I should check, is like going down to 26 lands, maybe running 2 Impulse. Alright, up against Yorion again, so back to Happy Place.
We need to become...
Mono Red is Happy Place too. We like playing against Mono Red, we just need to draw spells. Alpha Frog, thanks for the follow. Playing Innkeeper because with 2 Fae of Wishes in hand, we're definitely just casting 1 on turn 2 to draw a card.
We need
Walk
to
in Eternity, thanks for the follow.
Tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Darn, I should probably take the High Mythic off, right? Does top 500 count as High Mythic? I don't know if it does. I'll say Medium Mythic. Alright, Narset draws a card, but that's fine. If they have fires next turn, we can just, What? What? Huh? Oh, okay. I guess some people really like casting Omen of the Sea. I guess some people just really like casting Omen of the Sea, chat. They'll just play 8 Omen of the Sea. Yep, Raskolnikov, that's the goal. Seems like pretty great value. I expect that on average I can probably have a win rate higher than the 52% you need to break even. And tournaments are fun, good for streaming, all that. I really thought it was calculated to be something like 52.5 or 53 or something like that, Kevlar Man. 52% the EV. What do you mean by the EV is 0? The EV of 0 is, that is break even. Unless I misunderstand you, which I may very well be. Alright, so Tef is plussed. This is fine. Let's Plan for this turn is just going to be to do Lovestruck Beast things. Get rid of this Narset. Hey, Guitar Playing Ginger. Yep, catch you next time. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for stopping by. Nope. Temple for the win. Woof. All right, so our deck hasn't quite shaken the whole every card is a land syndrome yet. If they shatter, we get to draw a card, and maybe that one won't be a land. Ooh, well, that's a good sign. I guess it could just mean they're going to shatter and don't want me drawing a card off the shatter. Does mean no instant speed shatter. Yeah, Color Man. I mean, obviously there's like a good chance I lose money on the 52% win rate, but I'm comfortable with an EV of 0 tournament. I'm not really expecting to win most of the time there. Raskolnik, I say 6-3 is probably close to the most likely record I get. I don't think it's that likely I get 7 wins the first try. If I go exactly 6-3, I might be too tired to try again, but I would be certainly willing to enter it more than once. MTG William, you're looking at it. This is the moneymaker. This is where it happens. Is Temur Clover. Alright, so opponent's not going to have any access to tokens, but just in case they have Omen of the Forge, we're going to attack Tef with our slightly larger creature. Not concerned about Luca possibilities just yet. So is this the turn we just go Clover Double Wish? Or is it like Clover? Pretty down to just like Clover Double Token Lovestruck again. Do the Wishing later. I want to keep a lot of pressure on board just in case. Yeah, Bottle Brush. I could go down to 26 lands. So was there a particular land you were thinking of? Drop that land? Alright, finally hit an escape. Our opponent has just done nothing this game at all, so we're in a very comfortable place. This is how every Yorion match has felt over the last week or so. Well, I mean, if I don't notice not having the land, it's because I'm drawing enough lands from other... I mean, yeah. I will draw more spells and fewer lands if I play fewer lands in the deck, is the only summary I can make there. I don't know whether it would be correct to do that or not. Incarcerated Geneticist, I expect that to be pretty soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened before the Mythic Invitational. Okay, so our opponent's at 15, and they haven't interacted with our board at all, so I think we just kill them. I'm just going to hit our opponent with everything, put them to 6. I'll escape first, see what I hit off of this. If I had a bunch of Bone Crusher Giants, I'll probably just go all in at my opponent. Well, that was a bunch of Bone Crusher Giants, so I guess the question has been answered for us. I'll just split the difference. I have enough damage potential now that I can afford to split the difference. When considering their life choices, considering the road that led them to this point, considering whether Agent of Treachery is too late to bail them out, Okay, yep, that was every game against Jeskai Yorian ever. At some point I really need to check my untapped.gg win rate against this deck. Actually, I kind of want to do that now. Let me go, before I hop into the queue again, open up untapped.gg and see what it says. Alright, I think, folks, this is going to be the last match of the night. Started a little bit late. It's starting to get late on my end. Had a good full night of Temur Clover. We'll be playing more of this tomorrow, so you can come by at 6 p.m. tomorrow if you want to see more Temur getting played. If you've enjoyed the stream so far, be sure to follow. You'll see me playing this and many other decks at varying levels of skill, but I'm always looking for something interesting to do in the metagame, unless I'm seriously preparing for a tournament, in which case I'll play Temur Clover.
We need to
we
become
do a lot of different
Aaron
things on the
Gurtler
stream.
tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Easy keep. Alright. Oh, it's not mono red. Alright, Obosh Aristocrats. Aristocats love seeing a Fae of Wishes. That's going to be a Grafdigger's Cage later. Do just want lands from here, though.
We need to become Aaron Gurtler tonight, chat. That's the goal. We need to become Aaron Gurtler.
Alright, opponent's got their perfect start. We've got our perfect start just about. Do need to hit one more little land. One more little land. Wow, alright. Opponent with the cleanest of all draws here. This is going to be tight. Especially missing that land there. This is going to be real tight. Oof. Well, got to keep that, I think. And pass. We might die. We might die to Familiar Oven Devil on the play. Really want an untapped land there for the Beanstalk. Jeez. Okay. So, in response to this, we're just going to bounce both of these things before they get the food down that they can sack. Maybe they don't have a fourth land. Next turn, we get to Beanstalk Giant plus double bounce plus double token, and then the turn after that is the Grafdigger's Cage Red Cap melee turn. So, I feel like we're in okay shape. Obosh does represent a lot of damage potential later, sadly. Wow, okay. Opponent did not have anything to do besides the devil. Cool, cool. We're going to take 4 this turn, but that's pretty reasonable to beat. Opponent going to cat me now before I can, like... Well, I don't know why they catted me now, but they're going to do it, clearly. Blue, green, red. Let's set up this way. Alright, so I'm not going to bounce now because they might try to play out Oven, not realizing I have more bounce. This does get me punished if their draw for the turn is exactly Fabled Passage. They get an extra sack trigger. Nope, Oven time, which means we are just double bouncing. They do get to play the cat again, but that's fine. That part doesn't bother me too much. Hey, thanks for the compliment. Began HS. And thanks for the follows, Scars Faye and Paulo Enrique and Loch West, all of y'all. Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god, chat, it's Pilfering Imp. Our opponent went so deep. They went so deep, chat. It's Pilfering Imp. Hover over that one and read it if Cardboard Live even friggin' stores it. Pilfering Imp. My goodness. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, chat. I'm so excited. I'm so unreasonably excited by the imp. Alright, so the plays now are going to be, I believe it's Grafdigger's Cage plus Shadow Spear. So, Cage for Ovens, Shadow Spear. I really just want to gain life back. There's like some risk that I just accidentally die if I'm not careful. I could get Blazing Volley to take out the imp, but that seems... I want to let the imp do its thing, chat. I just don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It's so cute. Yeah, Patrick, given that the cat can just sack anyway, getting cage volley didn't seem all that important. Oh, so cute! Oh my goodness. Alright, Shadow Spear's down though. So with Shadow Spear and me having access to double stomp plus more wishing, I think we're going to be in very reasonable shape today. This thing costing 2 mana to sack is a horrible disaster for the opponent. I don't think they're really going to have time to do that. It certainly does, Patrick. It certainly does. Ooh, okay. Well, them's are some decent beats. Them's are some decent beats. So we're going to drop to sort of a precarious life total with the way things are going here. But we get to stomp everything down, and then Shadow Spear kind of rescues us, ideally. Okay, so if we double stomp, hit Judith Gutterbones. We can then follow up with just Fae of Wishes, equip Shadow Spear to it. And the only way we die is if the opponent has, like, Claim the Firstborn stuff going on. Alright, so we're hitting... Yeah, so order mattering-wise, they're going to be able to sack Judith either way. If I hit Gutterbones first and the token hits Judith... Yeah, there's no order that saves me from taking the damage here, I'm pretty sure. Do I kill the imp instead? No, I don't. I killed the thing that has more power. Okay, opponent has successfully dropped me to 5. They do have a Mayhem Devil, an Obosh, and a Witch's Oven, so a bunch of different, like, combos that could kind of get me a little bit. That is a food they can sacrifice. Yeah, still think I'm sticking to this plan. Fae plus Shadow Spear. If opponent has Claim the Firstborn plus Mayhem Devil, they can put me to 1. Which is actually terrifying. I'm wondering if I should just play the other Fae of Wishes instead. Let's see. Opponent goes Claim, take my Fae, hit me to 2, sack it to Devil, put me to 1, then the cat can just sack the food and I die? Huh. Well, they're not allowed to Claim the Firstborn, might just be my answer to that question. Or I just play the other Fae out and just try to gain enough life to survive. Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing. Just play the Fae out, try to gain enough life to survive. We miss a lot of wishes, but we don't die as easily with Claim. And I have, like, Beanstalk Giant next turn. Yeah. I've got the Beanstalk Giant, so... We'll see, we'll see. Not out of the woods by any means, but considering how good our opponent's start was, I feel like we did a pretty good job to get close to the edge of the woods. Rask Orbital, they can't get cat out of their graveyard, but they can sack food to cat, even with Crafter's Cage, and play that is allowed. So that is a way to get a sack trigger for free off the Mayhem Devil, which is an easy way for me to die, if I'm not careful. With Obosh down, they can go Devil, sack a food, use the oven to sack something else. They can actually next turn go Devil, sack, Imp, hit me for 2. Yeah, they can go Devil, sack, Imp, hit me for 2 with that discard. Hey, thanks for the sub, Anaphylactic. My goodness. Alright, so... Yeah, Devil, Imp sack, Oven sacks the Obosh, Cat sacks the food, and I die. So I need to attack with a Fae of Wish to equip a Shadow Spear this turn so I don't die. That's step 1. There are a lot more steps beyond that, but that's step one. Probably dead here. Something that could be very helpful would be to rip a... we rip a 1/1. That could be great, because I'm going to play Lovestruck Beast out this turn as well. I am, right? I am going to do that. Lovestruck Beast can't attack, though, but it does block Obosh, which seems pretty key. So Lovestruck's in, this is down. We're going to move Shadow Spear back to Lovestruck, I think. This kills me if they have Claim, but we're dead if they have Claim anyway. There's no way I'm living through that. We're going to set up so Obosh doesn't get to do any attacking. This puts me in a pretty good spot if I hit a 1/1. Fight removal for Mayhem Devil, that's also pretty good. Claim the Firstborn absolutely obliterates me. Let's see, they can sack... Actually, they can sack something, get to... Okay, Pilfering It means I'm not dead right now. They can use Witch's Oven, they can sack... Okay, they can sack Obosh, and then the cats give them 3 food sacks. So we are dead if our opponent does this right. We're dead if the opponent does this right, because Obosh just makes 2 foods. Let's see if the opponent does this right. If they sack Imp, that doesn't work. Actually, sacking Obosh doesn't work, because that takes away their double damage. Okay. Wow. Okay, this play also makes sense. This play also does make sense. So they're burning through all the food, but they do get to take out Lovestruck Beast, which forces me to chump Obosh, I'm pretty sure. Does it force me to chump Obosh? If I block Pilfering Imp, I go to 1 life. I can then win if I take Devil off the board, because the opponent doesn't have any reliable sources of damage anymore. If I chump Obosh, I go to 6. Next turn I can cast Beanstalk Giant. Yeah, I think this is chump Obosh. Our opponent messed... I guess our opponent couldn't have killed us, probably. We'll chump Obosh, go to 5 off the Imp. Draw of 1 Mind, which is something. Is that enough? So now if I cast Beanstalk Giant, the opponent can sack Imp for food. No, the opponent can sack Imp, they can then sack Obosh for food. That makes 2 foods. I go to 1 off of that and I die. I need to get Devil off the board. Getting Devil off the board is the only way I can win this game at this point, so I need to cast Of 1 Mind. Okay, that was exactly what I needed. That was perfect. So we snipe down this Devil. We cast another creature that can block Obosh. Still not alive yet, but not dead either. That was real close. That was real close. A lot of things kill us. Another Mayhem Devil does it. Claim the Firstborn does it very easily. Call the Death Dweller does it, except for we have a Grafdigger's Cage in place, so it doesn't. Okay, great. Great, great, great. That was a really good use of our opponent's mana there. We're not going to sorry them. That's got to be heartbreaking. They really thought they had us. Not dead yet. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Attack with both. Play the deck that can get main deck Grafdigger's Cage, folks. If you're in a best of 1 tournament, just play the deck that has access to Grafdigger's Cage from the main deck. You won't regret it, chat. No attacks. No attacks. Alright, time to start gaining some life, chat. Time to start gaining some life. Feels great. Feels so good. We could still die to claim the Firstborn because this Bone Crusher Giant's coming back to us as a 10-4. But for now, we live. Alright, and this has got to be Lovestruck Beast, right? Escape the Wilds. I can Escape the Wilds double token? That puts me, I guess, not dead to claim the Firstborn, actually. Let's do that. Super easy playing Innkeeper here. I don't care if they have Mayhem double or whatever. It's just all hands on deck at this point. Love keeping my hand empty against the Pilferino. Dolage, I mean, sure. There's probably a good Karn deck somewhere in best of one. Probably. Can't guarantee it. This is a great last match of the night if this is what we're doing. Win or lose, it's been quite the back and forth. Mayhem Devil, all right. Still at 10 over here. Still at 10, still living. Don't play another one, though. Luris of the Dream Den. Ooh, fun main deck card, but... No. Hey, Bloody, we're actually playing the last match of the night here. Good to see ya. It's been a real fun one. This Grafdigger's Cage has just completely obliterated our opponent. Boop. Oh, yeah. Don't think our opponent has outs to this one at this point unless they have like some main deck way of killing Beanstalk Giant. Hey, so glad to hear that, Bloody. Congrats. Congrats on your return to health. All right, we go Beanstalk Reno. That is an 11/11. I see no need to attach Shadow Spear to this. Shadow Spear just means I could die accidentally to threaten if they run that. Lovestruck Beast is going to get shut off of attacking real easy, though. So maybe I'll just hold a Borrower up. Just hold a Borrower up. Kevlar Man, yeah, I think I am. Bloody, you about to stream? Sup, bruh? You're coming in right as we're ending, but you're getting to see the conclusion of a pretty sweet match. Opponent had turn 1 Cat, turn 2 Oven, turn 3 Devil, and we had a tap land for our third land drop, missed the chance to double Beanstalk, and we still just grounded out. Grounded out from opponent being able to put us to 1 at some point. They are now trying to do fun sack loops, but it's a little bit too late for that to work at all. Okay, so Fae of Wishes can come back to hand pretty easily and find... Maybe just Fling. Let's equip Shadow Spear first and see how my opponent responds to this attack. Yep, Money Mundo, of One Mind definitely did the thing. We really needed that one. Of One Mind fighting hard for its slot in this deck. Alright, opponent has taken enough damage to be dead to Fling. Works for me. They can't get 2 sacks off at short notice, so they're dead. Well, it's actually just a genuinely great best of 1 deck, Bloody, so I don't think you'll be disappointed. I certainly look forward to watching that get played. Why, thank you, Tap Down. Thank you. Yeah, Color Man, that's like the secret hidden mode. Is just like Divination's okay. Not that far off of being a real card. All right, well, that is a perfectly clean way to end the stream. We are going to, how are we going to do the Bloody Raid? Interesting, interesting. All right, so for anybody who wants to stick around, I am qualified for the upcoming Mythic Invitational. And that means that I have to play Historic. I really don't know anything about Historic. I occasionally watch like people play it or stream it and stuff, but no real sense in the metagame, no sense of really like what a given deck is going to sideboard against me. But I have been brewing a bunch of Historic stuff, and I figure as we wait to raid Bloody, which we will do in a few minutes, we might as well look at some of the stuff I brewed so far. Note that like probably like none of this is very good, but it's my it's what I've been spending time on here. Yeah, Moneymundo, that's DreamHack for you. I won it, and then they told me, "Hey, you've qualified. What's your story on that?" I'm like, "Wow, I forgot." I was just so excited to have won the tournament that I forgot what I actually won. MV Bell, thanks for the follow. So this is like a list of Historic cards I really like. I really wish you could just drag this up here. That would be super clean if you were allowed to do that. But anyway, you can't. So just like a bunch of cards that I think are really interesting. Very little of this will be surprising to folks. Obviously, people have been building decks with a bunch of these cards for a long time. Some things that I think are really sweet that maybe are getting less attention than they ought to. Haphazard Bombardment seems... We have enough ramp now that, like... And lands are important enough. This card seems really potent, potentially. Just the fact that it basically kills a land when it comes into play and then kills 2 more lands over the next 2 turns. And bouncing with Tef only slows it down from killing lands. This seems powerful. Yeah, that was Best of 1 line open. We're preparing for the Arena Open next week. Rarvin. No, I tried running Triumphs and I hated them, and now I run Temples instead. Hated is an exaggeration. The 2 lands are very, very close on power level. I think Temples feel slightly better to me. Distant Melody. Obviously, it's like not easy to build a giant board of creatures, but it feels like you could maybe do it just long enough to get like 4 or 5 cards off of this thing. Then again, it's drawing 4 or 5 cards for 4 mana good. I don't know. That seems plausible. Pretty surprised I haven't seen a great Heroic Reinforcements deck yet in this format. This card seems really... This card was excellent in Standard once upon a time. Still seems pretty good at getting under counter spells. What else looks great to me? I missed this card a lot. This is going to be in the sideboard a lot of my blue decks. Ooh, I love Entrancing Melody. That was my first great innovation. Was just melodying people. The Eldest Reborn, love this card. It's the Black Elspeth Conqueror's Death. It is worse, but it's not that much worse. This one I think is one to keep an eye on. Anyway, those are Historic cards I like a lot. Some Historic decks I have built so far. So I started off in the obvious way. I just looked at some of the standard decks and thought, what other cards could you put in here? Mono Black Obosh has some sweet updates. I noted that you get access to... I don't know that these cards are all good. Some of them are going to be terrible. I'm going to test to find out. But you get Diagraph Ghoul, just another 1-mana 2/2. 1-mana 4/2 with Obosh. You get Crypt Breaker. I don't know if this card is worth it. With Diagraph Ghoul, it seems worth thinking about, at least. Maybe you run like Midnight Reaper to get more zombies in, but just like a good source of card advantage. Something you can grind in the late game a little bit, although of course that's usually not Obosh's goal. You get Dreadshade. This card's pretty interesting with Obosh, right? You can just like completely murder people. Same Dreadshade plus Shadow Spear, also a heck of a combination. Like obviously it's a little clunky, but if there ever was a deck for it, maybe it's this. Love Ruin Raider. I think this card is underrated. And honestly seems pretty sick to just be like drawing cards the turn you drop it in the Obosh deck. Love this one. So Mono Black Obosh is something I might want to test a bit. You get Virulent Plague in the sideboard plus Ashiok to handle all manner of weird combo Field of the Dead type decks. Alright, Bloody. Alright, well, Bloody does not want to be raided. Remember that Bloody will be streaming soon. For now, let's raid someone else. We can do more Historic Tory next time. We'll be playing a bunch of Historic on the stream leading up to the Mythic Invitational. You'll probably have a chance to see a bunch of these decks get tested. At some point, I don't think it's going to be very good, but I would love to Ranger Evios and pick up 2 copies of Edgewell and Keeper. That's kind of what, that kind of is the dream, chat. Raid Luis. Oh, Salvato is playing. Yes. Rarvin, thanks for the follow. Let's go raid Mr. Senor Salvato. Unless it's Luis Scott Vargas who's playing, Let's see which Luis it is. All right, chat, so we're going to go see the other best Clover player in the world, the person who I think is the best contender for that title. It's Luis Salvato. Is Luis Salvato playing Standard right now? He is drafting Ikoria. Nonetheless, we're going to raid the guy. He's great. Lots of fun to watch. And, of course, there are plenty of great standard streamers out there if you're going to watch those folks instead. So let's go raid Luis. Jason Florent is also streaming. I didn't even realize that. All right, well, we're going to do Luis. We'll do Jason at some point in the future.